live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Land of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
What's like the concept?
It's like mini games that you kind of compete battle royale style, but it's mini games and you just try to, be the last one standing essentially.
Let me try this again. So what is the concept?
It'll be
English.
English.
Check out our podcast on all platforms. Just search ESPN 690. Subscribe to our podcast. Thanks.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
What are you bringing? Some baseball cards in? Football cards in? What do you got?
Yeah, man, we're putting up some Jaguars cards. That's from my stepdad's collection. Well, I have a collection too of it. So, just some.
Did you make the wall? Like,
no.
are you on there?
No, I didn't make the wall. These are kind of old school guys. I think we got Jerko in there. We got Pacelli, a bunch of Mark Brunell, Brady.
Do we have to have that much Brunell? I mean, he kind of works for the competitor.
Well, those are all the cool cards, though. All the cool cards are the Mark Brunell cards, man.
Did he ever play for the Jags?
According to the cards, he did at least. There's a couple of them there. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a cool one, like where a kid, I guess, like won like a contest, and he drew Mark Brunell, and that was the card for that year. That's the top left over there.
All right. Enough Mark Brunell talk.
Oh, well, you brought him up, not me.
No, you brought him up.
Yeah, but you made it a big deal.
You had 15 cards of them.
You made it a big deal. Well, hey, I'm not sure if you read how trading cards work or, sports cards work, but usually the quarterback's the most popular player.
Maybe we bring in, like, cards of, like, Frank Frangie and Cole Pepper coming up next?
No, I mean, if they played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, why not? I don't know, man. You keep bringing up these names. Like, hey, it wasn't a big deal until you had to make it a big deal.
Welcome in on a Tuesday. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos. I love how we're decorating. You decorate the parts that nobody can see.
I'm decorating the parts that are my side of the wall.
I just angled it so they can see everything.
Nobody can see it.
I'm decorating the parts that are my side of the wall, man.
Your half of the room does look pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it looks good. It looks like something.
It looks better than yours.
I look like I'm in jail.
It looks better than yours right now.
The only thing Brent has, you can see, stream-wise, the only thing you can see on Brent's is like half of the ESPN 690 jersey behind you and a baseball bat.
Yeah. Well, that's in case he wants to fight.
Here's the... I'll just quick put up the card for the people so they can see the...
Yeah, that might be a little too close.
Well, too close. Yeah, right there's good.
Yeah. Man. I mean, that's cool. Like, a kid got his drawing on a
that is pretty
playing
neat.
Card, yeah.
You want some of my baseball cards? I'm on a couple cards.
I was trying to keep it more like Jaguar themed.
Oh.
But I guess if you want to... Because we're ESPN Jacksonville, not ESPN Brent Martineau, but it is what it is, man.
Well, kind of ESPN. I mean, it's close.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I guess it rolls around us.
It's pretty close.
Hey, you know what? You decorate your side of the wall however you want to decorate your side of the wall. I'm not going to say anything.
I got to speed dial Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs. We need some stuff.
Yeah, I need some swag in there.
Listen, I cleaned the house a little bit today, so I have plenty of stuff.
There we go.
Could just bring it in. How do you put it on the wall is the key part.
Yeah.
What did you do anyway? I mean, is
what do you
that
mean?
tape?
No, it's like it's like a putty.
What did you do? Go to Staples today?
I did go to Staples. And I spent $2 on that putty, gonna get that expense off, and it's gonna be good to go.
Good, here's a water.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Patrick Mahomes, what a performance last night. Lamar Jackson, not so good.
Yeah.
Talk a little Jags, too. He's got to turn. We didn't really talk a lot about the Jags yesterday, but we spent it a little bit forward, and I did this last night on TV, and I'm interested to get your thoughts on Gardner Minshew in terms of bouncing back. Like, I think that's a big part of this. Everybody's going to bounce back from bad performances. The Jags as a whole had a bad performance. Seriously, the only guy you can really say played well was James Robinson. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some interior linemen that played pretty well too, and we just don't know. But that's all we all notice, one person. So how do you bounce back, and especially at the quarterback position? Because if you look back at the Jags and the history of their quarterback position, not all the way back to that guy that's on the wall, but there have been a lot of quarterbacks that have come through here that have piled up bad performances. Mm-hmm. And so how do you figure that out, right? Can you show the moxie, the resolve, the resiliency to not do that? Because let's just be honest, most good quarterbacks do not stack up bad performances. And I think that it was a categorical bad performance by Gardner Minshew. The look of it, more so than the numbers. He's had worse performances. Houston last year actually threw for 300 yards in that London game, but he got picked off twice and he got 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Well, this one was a 1 fumble, 1 interception game. So on paper, it's not like, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing. If you watch that game, you could tell, though, that was not a good Gardner Minshew performance. And so can he bounce back? That's part of the question today. Major League Baseball playoffs underway. A couple games today, a big day tomorrow, a big slate of them. It's interesting with Major League Baseball. How much stock now are you putting into this season for them? 60 games. See, the Stanley Cup finished last night. A huge validation of the bubble, by the way. They got to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it didn't work because the Tampa Bay Lightning won. But, yeah, so it was actually a major disappointment in terms of the bubble. The bubble did not work, everybody. I'm sorry, NHL fans, but the Tampa Bay Lightning won.
And not a Lightning fan, huh?
No.
Did you want Dallas
Can't
there?
stand them. Any other team besides the Lightning and the Avalanche, I would rather see win.
That's actually pretty impressive that somebody doesn't like a Florida team that much.
I can't stand them.
That actually shows relevance.
I can't stand them.
Like, I wish people hated the Jags like that.
For sure. For sure.
That means you're good.
Yeah.
Because
and
Tampa's been, it's interesting. I thought Tampa, that was the first time they've won since 2004.
Correct.
I feel like they've won.
Back with Martin St. Louis.
I feel like they've won way more than that.
Well, it feels like, because they won a lot of games since that. It's just the fact they couldn't put it together.
Remember last year they got bounced early.
Of course. First round, and they had the best record in the NHL. They won the President's Trophy.
Didn't last year both number 1 seeds go down?
Correct.
Yeah, I thought so. But anyway, what's kind of validation for the bubble that you get hockey finishing up, and also NBA looks like they're going to make it to the finish line. They're a week and a half away. Now Major League Baseball is kind of in a bubble. Major League Baseball has a 60-game season. I heard a comment today about the quality of play that we might get now the next month, and I was very interesting. I'd never thought of this before, so we'll talk about that. But a little Major League Baseball talk, because, listen, this is kind of fun. Once again, the NBA, when they were doing the early part of the playoffs, and the NHL as well, it was like game after game after game after game. It was 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It was great. Like we said, people aren't used to it, so you didn't know it was March Madness, but of a different sport.
Yeah.
Our clocks are so programmed to say, hey, that Thursday, Friday, March Madness, those 2 days, we love it. We live for it, right? Especially. There's some more games like the next week, but not like that. Not like it is on the first 2 days of the NCAA tournament. Well, the NBA was like that. The NHL was like that. They hardly took days off. There were always games going on. Well, Major League Baseball, tomorrow, that is just an awesome Major League Baseball day, and it means something. When you have this many games, it's usually like Memorial Day weekend or opening day or something like that, where there's so many games scattered along. Well, these games actually mean a lot, right? They're short series. Those game ones are huge in these short series. So how much will stick from this baseball season? Did they get it right? And does it make you a little bit excited because of the volume of games for baseball? We don't really talk about Major League Baseball much around here, but I think those are some interesting topics, especially given the news of today, where we have a couple of teams, a couple of leagues like NHL, NBA, and Major League Baseball finishing up. Well, now the NFL, the first major red flag, the Tennessee Titans. Can they actually go until Saturday, not allowed in the building, and play a football game on Sunday? Been in a meeting for the last hour, but they haven't ruled on that game yet, have they?
I think they're announced that they're going to try to push forward. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been told that, plan accordingly, that you're going to have a game on Sunday. And obviously the Titans and the Vikings as well have been shut out of their stadiums, I believe, until Saturday.
You can't play that game Sunday. Can you?
Not if you, listen, you can watch the film and you can have meetings online. Right, via Zoom or whatever they use. Probably it's Microsoft Office, because I think they're sponsored by Microsoft, and the NFL is. So you can do that, but the question comes in terms of the physical contact, in terms of making sure your body's ready to go and adapted. I have a hard time believing that you can't practice for a whole week as a whole team. Now, players can do this all the time, but I'm saying as a whole team, not condition yourselves and all of a sudden expect to come out on Sunday and play in a football game. So I wonder if there's some kind of loophole where they can go train someplace else, like a community park or something like that, kind of like we had to do during the lockout. If they can do something like that. But yeah, I have a hard time believing that they're not going to practice at all and they expect to show up on Sunday and play.
Well, Adam Schefter just reported that everything is on track for them to play. on Sunday, just like you said.
Yeah.
There's some thought that they could move the game to Monday to get extra testing in.
Okay.
I understand you can do a lot of things in a virtual world, and now you're a few weeks into the season, so you kind of, outside of game planning, like, do you actually have to have practice? Like, hard? You're not going to hit at practice anyway. So it's all installation, but it's virtual installation. I just don't know how. If that happened here in Jacksonville, or if that happened, if I was like a coach on that team, I'd be like advocating to not play.
Yeah.
I think that seems like a distinct disadvantage for the Tennessee Titans. And I know this is about getting games in, but that just seems a bit absurd to say, hey, you're not allowed back in the building until Saturday. Take the week off and then go play on Sunday. I think that runs the risk of player safety, runs the risk of just bad from an integrity standpoint in preparation, and it's an unfair competitive disadvantage. The Pittsburgh Steelers are practicing all week, and you're not allowed to, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. At the same time, though, Corey Davis is on my fantasy football team. They have to play, so it's as simple as that. But
well, there are extenuating circumstances.
Oh yeah,
that's the,
oh yeah.
that's the thing.
Fantasy football is big business, Brent. Don't get it twisted. I agree with you. Unless they can come to some kind of common ground and say, all right, we can go practice here. And I'm not even sure what that would look like. I have no idea. But I don't think it's very feasible to hold the team out until Saturday or whenever that's going to be. And obviously Saturday's going to be a walkthrough day, right? It's not a physical day at all.
Well, Saturday's not a practice day.
You can't have it
You
be
don't miss
physical.
anything on Monday, Tuesday. Quite frankly, I'm not sure you miss much on Friday or Saturday.
Well, Friday's like the fast Friday, but I mean, you do go through the whole play.
Okay,
and
so definitely
have
Monday,
speed.
Tuesday, Saturday.
Correct.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But Wednesday, Thursday are big game
Big days.
planning installation days, aren't they?
They're huge days. So I'm not sure what this is going to look like. Keep in mind, though, like I guess you could, and I'm not sure when their bye weeks are. I'm not sure if you could line that up. But this isn't baseball, Brent. This isn't where, you can play a doubleheader one day and then play a doubleheader like the next day. Like, you can't do that. This is the game of football. And you have to play, I think, at least like 5 or 6 days between your last game. So the fact that if they don't go on with this game and they do sit the Steelers and the Titans out, I mean, what's that going to look from a schedule perspective, right? You're essentially putting the whole league in turmoil now over 2 teams. Not saying, that's not the right thing to do. I'm just saying the scheduling could be a giant issue. And I think with the NFL right now, where they've been taking such a precedent saying, you know what, we're a run schedule, everything's running smoothly, we're doing things a certain way, and it's going good so far. I don't know if you throw this wrench into the plan, how they're going to react to that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying, but for right now, this appears to be a one-off thing. We haven't had this so far. So I would say if you can bounce around the schedule a little bit, and I saw somebody tweet out, it's like week 8, I think Tennessee's playing Baltimore and Pittsburgh's playing somebody, and so it involves 3 teams. It basically involves Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Tennessee, because they're all playing each other. And so you could actually slide, like everybody have an off week this week,
But it
and
also-
then go week 7 and week 8.
It involves Minnesota, though, too, right? Because Minnesota had to close down their stuff because they play Tennessee.
Yeah, who does Minnesota got this week? Oh, Minnesota has Houston.
Yeah.
Why is Minnesota as closed up until Saturday? Like the Titans have
I'm
been
not
told
sure
they can't come until Saturday.
I'm pretty sure the Minnesota right now has been quarantined. All their positives came back negative, so they could probably open back up.
Oh, their the tests, have come back negative?
Yeah. But from what I read is that the Vikings had to, they shut down.
They had to, I think, for temporarily, but I don't think they've been given the Saturday mandate, which is different than the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, and that's fine, but it's still too. It's still. I'm not sure when they can come back, but it's still a disadvantage. I guess Tuesday's the off day.
Tuesday's an off day. So if they get back to work tomorrow, then there's no disadvantage.
I don't know the way that game went though. Mike Zimmer might be. No, there are no off days anymore. 2 days.
You have to have
Bring
one.
it back. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't. Your point's a good one. And that's why I think in every sport, I think winning percentage matters more than anything else right now. Winning percentage is important. You got to meet a certain barometer of games. These are things that we talked about way back in April and May that could arise. And Major League Baseball avoided that, actually. They got their games in. So that was – I didn't think they would, or I wondered if they would. But winning percentage, like in ACC football, has already been factored into the equation. They know if everybody doesn't play the same amount of games. The NFL might have to do that if they have more of these – these outbreaks that cause scheduling changes. It's very difficult in the NFL because you have to play within essentially a 3-day window. You have to play sometime between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, or you start looking at a super competitive disadvantage, especially on short notice. I know there are Thursday night games, but you can't all of a sudden say, oh, yeah, Tuesday here, oh, you're going to play Thursday. Well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
They have to know well in advance. So I think this is really interesting to watch the Tennessee Titans and how the league responds to it, how this shakes out. I mean, listen, if the Tennessee Titans don't practice till Saturday, they go in and beat Pittsburgh, well, then everybody's going to be like, well, why are we practicing anyway?
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, listen, we're going into week 4 right now, right? So we're only a quarter of the season really into this thing, and this has already happened once. I mean, we can probably assume it's probably going to happen again.
I would think.
So if we run the risk of, canceling this game and holding it back, well, then who's to say in a couple weeks, there's going to be another team and then another team. And all of a sudden now you're behind the 8 ball and you're trying to reschedule everything. So it's like I said, if they can find some place to train, I'm all for that, just to try to get a little condition for the game on Sunday. And just try to keep things as normal as possible. That's what I'm for, obviously, but safety is the number one priority.
All right, we'll talk more about it. I actually have one more thought on, I can't believe the NFL is allowing this one thing to happen. And the Tennessee Titans now having their issues exacerbates it. I'm going to tell you what that is, in my opinion. The first thing that comes to mind, and you tell me if I'm crazy or not, but I can't believe they're doing this, especially now given the Titans situation. And I think they should, quite frankly, put a stop to it. And they can do that. I would do that now. So we'll get into that. Plus, we'll get into the Jags a little bit. Gardner Minshew, can he bounce back? What does it look like for Gardner Minshew to bounce back? And can he do it against the Cincinnati Bengals? We'll begin with some Jags talk. It's Bengals week. They need to get a W. And we'll do it when we come back. 904-362-9901. You're always invited to the conversation. Star 690 or on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Hope you're doing well here on a Tuesday. We've got you covered until 6 o'clock right here on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tracking some scattered afternoon and evening showers and heavy thunderstorms ahead of a cold front. But temperatures today make it into the mid-80s, drying out overnight and clearing, temperatures down to the mid-60s. With your first alert forecast, I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Hurry! It's the last time you'll get 5 years, 0 interest this year. Are you ready for a new ride? Then your wait is over. It's the Today's the Day sales event, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota. Today's the day for you to drive away from Arlington one really happy customer in your brand new Toyota. That's because you'll get 0% for 60 months on all new 2020 Camrys, Corollas, and RAV4s. 0%. How about getting a new Toyota Plus, no payments for 90 days? Today's the day, because that's exactly what you'll get at Arlington. And did I mention 2 years of free maintenance? Yes. Today's the day you get your new Toyota at Arlington, plus 2 years of free maintenance. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind, thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Today is most definitely the day to get the Toyota you really want at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com. Today is the day for full details.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our nation and our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready to face the dangers of Mother Nature and protect our homes and our neighbors. We will always be there when your community needs us the most. Discover more about all the ways you can serve part-time in your community by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station. The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jack's Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jackscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
Over 300 children in Northeast Florida are currently undergoing cancer treatment. 84% of families whose child is tackling cancer will experience financial hardship. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, which is represented by the Gold Ribbon. Go gold this September with the Tom Coughlin J Fund to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/go gold for more information.
Hey, boss, don't you just love this time of year?
No.
Come on, the weather's changing, football season's here.
I don't like anything in 2020, okay?
Fair enough, but Halloween will be here before you know it.
True. That's always a good night for us crooks. Nobody gives a second look to our disguises.
Yup, all we gotta do is make sure we pick houses without Safe Touch security and we're golden.
Just mentioning Safe Touch security puts me in a foul mood.
I know, all those houses off limits to us crooks because of Safe Touch.
Yeah, they got their 45-second response time, the two-way communicator.
No freedom-loving crook messes with a Safe Touch house.
Exactly. It's why we stick to the Crooks R Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Hey, now there's one thing that's not upside down this year.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number LVA 4188.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
CGC Water is on a mission. If you are not filtering your water, you are the filter. The mission is to provide all who can hear this message with clean, purified drinking water, period. Up to 60% of the human body is made up of water, making the CGC Water mission vitally important to living a healthy life. CGC offers no contact sales and service appointments and takes all necessary precautions while in your home. Kinetico systems from CGC Water remove up to 99% of the contaminants. And this month, get 50% off a K5 reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Get peace of mind knowing your family is drinking great tasting, purified water. That's what we do at my home. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Join the mission and allow CGC Water to purify your drinking water. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Servicing Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
There's a new modern patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge. We're in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
When September ends, so does Diamonds Direct's free finance offer. So listen, you have until Wednesday to take advantage of this. 5 years, 0 interest with no money down. Everybody's doing it. It's incredible. You can spread your payments over 5 whole years. No down payment and no interest, period. But don't wait. This offer ends Wednesday and will not be extended on approved credit. 5 years, 0 interest. Get details, store hours, and directions now at diamondsdirect.com.
ESPN 690, SportsCenter update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. Congratulations go out to the Tampa Bay Lightning for bringing the Stanley Cup to Florida by finishing off the Dallas Stars in 6 games with a final score of 2-0. With the Rays in the MLB Playoffs and the Heat in the NBA Finals, Florida could be flush with hardware soon. Last night on Monday Night Football, the defending champs faced last year's MVP, and the Chiefs got the better of the Ravens 34-20. Lamar Jackson looked less than MVP-like with a total of 180 yards rushing and passing. Here's Chiefs D lineman Frank Clark on how they contain.
You got to be patient. It's a patient game. For a player that's so fast and so, so explosive and he makes so many plays and he can make plays throwing the ball or running the ball. But you got to play a patient game. And, I can't give away too many other secrets, but, because we got to play this man for the next, few years down the road.
And in Jags roster moves, they have dropped defensive lineman Timmy Jernigan and signed veteran kicker Steven Hauschka. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker play ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
And I'm going to regurgitate it to you. I'm like a mother bird right now, and I'm spewing it in your mouth.
Brent Martineau.
You got doves flying and mother birds all week.
I'm trying to baby bird you right now, man.
Yeah, well, this is why I tease stuff and don't get to it.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I mean, obviously we haven't beaten them, so they've outplayed us in all 3 games. If you want to go back for 3 years, but we didn't play well today. They beat us. They out executed us. They out game planned us. They just beat us. So that's the story tonight. Big picture stuff, all that. I don't know. They're better. Obviously, they're a better football team at this point in time. So you win or you learn, and we have a lot to learn from this game right here.
That is Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh. Yeah. John. Jim.
There you go.
You know what's funny? It's too bad. Like, John's a better coach, right?
Yeah.
But I always think of Jim first.
Well, it's because he's more of the polarizing figure.
Yeah.
He's got the khakis and the glasses and everything. John seems a little more, I don't want to say chill because he's obviously a tense person, but, he's a little more behind the scenes, I feel like, than
I agree
Jim
with
is.
I agree with you. Dud of a game? Didn't live up to the expectation of the game? How do you view that one last night?
I was entertained. It just kind of makes you appreciate even more how good those Chiefs all really are with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Would you agree that the Baltimore Ravens can't play if they're behind?
Yeah, I think because it really puts they 0-6 or 0-4 or something like that in his career, and they're 20-0 when they lead at halftime, I think is the number. But it presents the weakness of Lamar Jackson. People wondered if he could be a pocket passer. He says he can be, but when you're dictating the action, it's easier to be. And so when people know what's coming, it's already hard to throw against the defenses that know what's coming.
Sure.
But especially for a guy who's not necessarily the most accurate passer.
And obviously Andy Reid knows this as well because I know it and you know it. So color me shocked. Go ahead and just color me shocked when the Kansas City Chiefs won the coin toss and they deferred. They put their defense out there instead of putting Patrick Mahomes and probably the best offense in the NFL to go out there first. They deferred. Color me shocked.
Okay, so did they fall behind 21-7?
Hey, I'm just saying color me shocked, Brent. When we have the best offense in the league and an okay defense, and you got Lamar Jackson's team who obviously can't play too far behind, and they chose to go ahead and defer.
All right, let's see if they do it again this week.
Color me shocked.
It's totally not the same situation.
Color me shocked.
Yeah, you could be shocked,
I'm
but
shocked.
It's just not a different situation.
Oh, I know it's not.
Kansas City, all they've done is won every football game they've played since last October.
Better offense and defense, Kansas City.
They do, but they have enough on defense, and they haven't shown that they get behind by 2 touchdowns every game early on and can't stop anybody.
Best offense possible in the NFL, and you stop the Ravens by scoring a lot of points on them and getting out ahead early. Interesting.
Let's get Submarine Mike in.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, you should be shocked. That's a terrible example. Submarine Mike, how you doing?
Afternoon, guys. Hey, on this whole Titans COVID thing, here's the thing. Back in the Navy, we lived by the credo, the stupid shall be punished. Now, when I say stupid, I'm not saying they have a lack of intelligence. What I'm saying is, we as human beings, every single one of us can look back on our lives and go, man, well, that was a stupid thing that I did. And this is one of those times. That does not mean it should go unpunished. So instead of all these teams have to shuffle and worry, Titans forfeit this week. And then you see what happens next week. Because
I like that.
That's what. And I know I'm a Steelers fan, but I truly believe this no matter who they play, because it was the Titans that did this For the Vikings, you make some exceptions. What's not their fault? This was the Titans' fault. They're the ones that have come up positive. Guess what? Those players will now stay home and play their PlayStation or watch TV or do whatever instead of whoever this organization that did this. Because you just, at this point, if you don't know how to stay away from COVID, then you haven't been paying attention. You've been willfully ignorant.
All right, Mike, but then let me ask you this question right now. Obviously, you said it yourself. The Vikings didn't do anything. So you don't want to punish the stupid there because they were just guilty by association. They were guilty because the Titans came into their place, and now, it's under lockdown. So they haven't announced quite yet when that stadium's going to open back up or whatever, or when they go back to practice. But let's assume right now that the Vikings players can't go practice until, maybe Friday or Saturday. That puts them at a disadvantage. Should they be able to get an excuse, or should they forfeit as well?
No, the Vikings should get the excuse. It's not their fault. None of them have tested positive.
So then,
obviously, quote-unquote, patient zero is on the Titans.
So then, but would you agree then? So then you think they should rearrange the whole schedule for the Minnesota Vikings, but not the Tennessee Titans?
Right, because the Titans are the culprit here.
Okay.
The Vikings, the Vikings had to show up to play. They were required to. And they did all the right things. They kept their people safe. They kept away from other people. Someone in the Titans did not.
Appreciate it, Submarine Mike. Thanks for the call. Here's why that wouldn't work, and I don't agree with Submarine Mike, okay? That is, one, because I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers want that, all right? The other team doesn't want that. And while it's more about winning games, and, you go to 4-0, people want to play. They want to stay sharp. They want to build their stats for Pro Bowls and things like that. I mean, there's a selfish nature about playing a game on a Sunday. There is. So they don't want that to happen, I don't think. Yeah, sure, if you said, hey, you can lose or forfeit and get a win and be 4-0, I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers would take that. I get the point.
I think any Steelers fan would.
But I'm just saying in their heart of hearts, they don't want that. They want to play the football game on Sunday. A competitor wants to play. So that's not necessarily why I disagree. I just disagree with Mike there that I think I've done a lot of things the right way as it comes to COVID-19, wearing masks or whatever they say is the right way, hand sanitizer and washing hands. I have no idea, though, if I'm going to contract it. I can't, it's not foolproof. Like, they're cleaning the stadiums, but they're still getting on planes. They're not allowed to go to restaurants on the road, but they're still in hotels. I mean, you don't know if every spot has been cleaned, where you were exposed to it, if the test was correct, that you were around somebody. Maybe it was a false test. Maybe they really did have it and it tested negative. Like, just a whole bunch of issues. I'm not willing to say it's the Titans' fault that they have it.
Correct.
Is my point. And this brings me to the other part of this. You know what? I can't get over, and I can't believe, and I say this to myself every time I see it so far this year. I can't believe after last night's game, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are allowed to go shake hands. I can't believe 50-something players and 20 more coaches are allowed to interact with the people on the field after the game. Like, I don't understand why that is the case. Well, I understand what you're going to tell. Well, Brent, they're playing football like for 60 minutes. Okay, but the strength and conditioning coach isn't. The trainer isn't. The 20 guys that didn't play are not.
They've been tested, though.
Well, then how did this happen? Why are we concerned about
It could have
Minnesota?
been on an airplane. Well, it could have been on an airplane. I mean, who knows? It could have been on the outside force.
I understand. And so my point is, you still don't know. They're doing daily testing. You could be doing so many things right. You're essentially living in somewhat of a bubble, and you still are not 100% sure.
Never.
And so I'm just surprised this year. Like, the jersey thing was a thing, right? And people laughed at it. And people are like, well, I mean, they're playing football the whole time. They can't go share a jersey. Well, okay, but it's just one more thing. It's one more element. There's concern in Minnesota today, and now it looks like they've tested negative, but there was concern because, oh, my goodness, the Tennessee Titans had some players. What about some of the people that shook hands after, the 5 coaches, I think, that, or part of their personnel, that weren't players that got it? There was all of a sudden this, whoa, what if they gave it to players and coaches and other folks on Minnesota, even though Minnesota didn't have any players that did have it originally? I'm just surprised that we're still seeing that right now. It's one extra step that if I were the NFL, it's just not foolproof. And so in case there's somebody who does slip through the cracks, a test goes wrong, somebody has contracted it between test time and kickoff, I just am not willing to take that chance right now if I'm the NFL, and I'm still surprised that we're seeing those post-game handshakes and everything else.
Yeah, I understand that, and it's bad optics, and I completely understand that.
And I don't care about the optics, man. I love that
Okay.
part of the game. I really do. Like, I actually am one of the funny thing is here, I'm going to be a little hypocritical.
Yeah.
I hate when they pull away from those shots.
Sure.
I want to see more. I wanted to see Harbaugh and Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
What was the interaction like? Mahomes and Lamar Jackson actually was very quick. Like, I thought those two would have a conversation of sorts. Very quick.
Mahomes doesn't have time. Mahomes is a $500 million man. All right? Lamar Jackson's making peanuts. He doesn't have time for Lamar Jackson anymore.
But they showed Kelsey and Mark Andrews after the game. I like that stuff. Like, I actually wish they would put multiple cameras and show that more. I like it in the NBA. I like it in all sports. It's not just the hockey handshake. I kind of like to see which guys gravitate. Like, I would have liked to see where did Calais go last night. I enjoy that part of it for some weird reason. I just think in this year, I don't know if I would be, we've had kids are playing like travel ball games over the summer or whatever, and you know what they do? They don't shake hands. It's a wave across the field.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense. Now, they're not getting tested every day either. But I just don't see why this year they would run the risk, is my point. I understand that some people think it's bad optics. I don't.
Listen, and I know what you're saying. I mean, you're trying to minimize the risk as much as possible. But at the end of the day, try to tell that to the players in that locker room. And try to tell them that, hey, we understand that you guys just tackled each other and you guys just played probably the most violent sport in all of sports. But now we need you to escort accordingly and not, shake hands or at least give a little fist bump to the opposing team because, well, we can't be risking you guys of COVID. Yeah, I know in pilots sometimes guys sweat on you and guys will spit and, guys will punch and all that stuff. But going to need you to exit accordingly and not get involved after the post-game stuff. And I understand what you're saying. Any little extra stuff, it adds more to the possibility of giving COVID-19. Maybe that's what happened, with the Tennessee Titans. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one Vikings player has it, who knows? But all I'm saying is you probably have more of a risk, Brent, right now to go to a Publix, go to a grocery store, touch something that somebody else touched, and all of a sudden you have it. You know, like it's just there's risks everywhere, and I understand trying to minimize those risks on the work time, on the field, but it's so hard to break that down to players.
Yeah, listen, I understand that thought process, and you might be right. It's kind of like, it's funny. It's like, I don't think they should be doing that because I just put myself, if I were to put myself in the Titans in Minnesota situation, say I was a Minnesota player and I see this news today and I'm like, oh my gosh, I talked to so-and-so after the game. I talked to so-and-so after the game. I'm like, shoot, I better go get a test. Do I have it or is, I know the test said negative, but let's go get a test again, right? There's probably some angst in Minnesota today after seeing that. And so fortunately, it looks like they're going to be okay, but you just putting a little bit more at risk. The other thing about it is I think the hilarious part of what's going on here. Again, I feel like I'm super hypocritical in this segment, but they're fining coaches for not wearing masks. So if you're allowing people to go communicate and talk and hit on the field and then go shake hands after the game, they've all tested negative apparently anyway. Why are the coaches even wearing masks?
Well, because out of the players and the coaches, who's the older group usually? Who's probably the less active group usually? It's the coaches.
Yeah.
Right? So I think in terms of maybe an immune system, in terms of age and probability of really getting sick, obviously, and having some kind of, obviously bad side effects to it, I think the coaches fall in that category a lot more than the players do. So I think it's more of just protecting the coaches, especially the older ones, as opposed to the players.
So the point, like, what's interesting to me is like, I've actually, from an optics standpoint, I think the NFL has put themselves in a worse situation because they're fining coaches for wearing masks. Like, if they didn't even wear masks, you would explain it away like, hey, they are all tested negative. We tested them this morning. They tested negative.
Sure.
So why even wear it? Instead, now you're bringing the optics into play because guys have it down by their chin and they're not necessarily wearing it correctly and all these things, and now you're fining them. I just think it's very hypocritical to say, hey, we're going to protect the coaches and stuff just in case, but we're also going to go shake hands with everybody after the game, and we don't care about the just in case.
No, I hear you. But at the end of the day, what's more likely? A coach to be brutally ill from it or a player? Probably a coach.
Yeah, true. And they could at least keep it up. they could at least put it up to the coach. I just don't know if they need to mandate it. And the point, one more thing on this, as you're saying it, because you bring up a good point. It's like, listen, I mean, they're spitting on each other, and it's a line of scrimmage and stuff. I mean, just the way it is. We know that's happening. That's the sport. I still believe, how many people do you think interact in a game? I mean, you're probably talking 65, maybe 65, 70 total. Well, all told, in that stadium, now shaking hands at the end of the game is probably closer to 120, 130. So, again, it's a little bit different. I mean, half of those people aren't in those piles, spitting on each other, sweating on each other, and you're still running the risk.
I hear you. And listen, I'm not here to say it shouldn't be that serious, because it should. I mean, it's obviously a serious topic right now, and I think all protocols should look out for the health of the players. But also there's a part of me that's like, well, listen, if you're going to shake hands, you're probably going to be wearing gloves, right? Like, there's a difference between sweating on each other or just wearing gloves. So with that being said, once again, I mean, it's not perfect. Heck no. But just try to explain that to players in the locker room after they just went to battle against each other and see how that goes for you.
Again, this might have been the most hypocritical segment I've ever done, because I do feel like I probably was one of those guys that laughed off on the jersey exchange thing. Like, hey, you're hitting each other and you're doing this, and you can't go give a guy 5. But as I've watched it, I can't help but think of, why are they doing this?
Let me ask you this question before we go to break here. Let's say it comes out that the Titans players that contracted COVID-19, it's because they went out to a bar or a club or something like that. Does that change, I guess, your opinion on how this should be handled in terms of a punishment possibly for the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, I think you punish yourself potentially. See, then I do think the fact that you can't get in your building until Saturday and you have to play Sunday, I don't feel bad for you. You punished your whole team by being an idiot. But how about the
Vikings, though?
Well, the Vikings have tested negative.
Yeah, but they're still out of the building today. Who knows if they go back tomorrow?
I think we got to see how that materializes. For now, it's just the Titans that I know that the Saturday thing exists. Yeah. So we'll take care of the Vikings when that one comes. But it's kind of like we thought about the Marlins, right? Marlins, if the story was true about Atlanta, which they later denied, well, that's on you. So if you don't play for 2 weeks, well, you did that to yourself. You're not bought in for this whole thing that you guys signed up for. And so I think the Titans, if they were to find that out, they would get fined. That's in the rule book now with the NFL. They agreed upon that. But they also could really damage their team.
Stay out of those honky-tonks.
Yeah, but we don't know that's the case. We don't know how they got COVID-19. When we come back, we will talk Gardner Minshew a little bit. Can he bounce back? We also have Jason Fitz at 4 o'clock. Mahomes, Wilson, or Rodgers, you get to pick one. Who would you take right now? Oh, baby, we got a lot to get to here on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off the 12. He will go down. He signs the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
15 to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown to Mario Terry. He is scary. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long. Right here on your home for Florida State football.
Right here on ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio and the Florida State Seminoles.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pets' changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Hey, boss, guess who I saw at the grocery store today?
I don't know. Elvis?
No, I saw your mom.
Ah, she doing good today?
Yeah, she's great. Said to say hello. Oh, and to thank you again for the Safe Touch security system you got her.
Ah, Safe Touch. The source of all my internal conflict.
Huh?
See, on one hand, as a cook, I hate Safe Touch security. But as a son, I love Safe Touch because they help protect my ma.
Yeah, she loves having the medical and panic buttons. Oh, and the two-way communicator's been great. She says Safe Touch makes her feel safe.
And so my personal tug-of-war continues. I hate Safe Touch. I love Safe Touch.
Well, love 'em or hate 'em, we still gotta stick to the Crooks Are Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. Unless it's Mom's house.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Men, are the effects of hypertension, diabetes, or prostate cancer preventing you from having a satisfying love life? In just one visit, the doctors at Prime Men's Medical Center can help you overcome ED or PE to regain your confidence and have you last longer in the bedroom. Name brand pills don't work for many men and can have serious side effects. The highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center provide custom blended medications that are safe, effective, and work immediately, regardless of your medical history or age. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. So, if you have problems in the bedroom, call now for a private consultation. One call, one visit, one simple solution to regain your love life. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Last chance for summer savings. It'll be your last chance to take advantage of 5 years, 0 interest in 2020.
This is the best deal of the summer.
Take advantage of Beard's lowest prices in North Florida on diamonds.
How about a $6,000 Tacori or Veragio ring? You pay just $100 a month. Or a pair of diamond studs for $3,000? You pay just $50 a month.
Hurry! Last chance for summer savings. Come in, see the difference. Save thousands.
Beard's Diamonds, located at the St. John's Town Center.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
We got together last night as coaches, and we talked about some stuff about where we were. Got up this morning and went through the tape, and at the end of it, we decided that we're going to start Nick Foles as a starter against Indianapolis. So both quarterbacks are aware of that. I know it's, for us.
Matt Nagy, no-brainer. You think about it, like for Nick Foles, it's what a weird spot. That QB room, it's always been wild to me that the guy wants your job, yet you got to be a great teammate. You're encouraging, and then that whole thing when it transpires that the other guy is going in for you. Mm-hmm. Like, is it gratuitous to say anything to Trubisky on Foles' part? Is it? What do you do? How do you say that? Like, from a professional standpoint, but also most of these guys become friends that, they spend so much time around each other. And I would think from Foles' standpoint, now he has seen it so many different ways, right? I mean, in his career, from being really good one year in Philly to almost retiring and Jeff Fisher basically saying, well, you stink, and then coming in for Wentz. And now down here, you're the guy for about 10 minutes. And then Minshew comes in for you, and now less than a year later, you're going in for the guy that was the guy in Trubisky. I mean, that guy's got a book to write, man. And it's not just about winning that Super Bowl.
You're not lying. And they probably want him back in Philly right now with the play of Carson Wentz.
There's been talk about that.
Yeah.
But he ain't getting them because they gave Wentz $130 million.
Yeah, you're kind of pot committed there.
So it's pretty wild. Just that whole scenario is really wild. Tough thing, I think, from an ego standpoint, teammate standpoint, the right thing to do standpoint. But again, Foles been on both sides of it, so at least you can appreciate it. And he probably handles it the right way. You think he lasts the whole way, Foles, now?
I think so, man. I think the Mitch Trubisky experiment's over. I think the only way Mitch Trubisky gets his job back, and obviously knock on wood, don't see any injuries, but if Foles gets hurt, then obviously he comes back. But besides that, man, I mean, you saw it on the sidelines, and it was written all over his face. He knew that he's probably going to be the backup for the rest of the year, especially when Foles came in and kind of provided that spark a little bit. And it seemed like if Nagy's calling the play, like when Foles came in, they changed their offense a little bit, went more spread, and obviously they had results as they beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I think Trubisky, history shows us now he's now a career backup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he gets another chance and surprises everybody.
Who's going to take a chance on him?
Well, it's kind of like Bortles, right? I mean, Bortles couldn't even get a job going into the season. And so Bortles appears to be career backup unless he comes into a situation like Denver and just you see this growth. And so once in a while, like a Rich Gannon shows that later in his career. Some of these guys, even Fitzpatrick to a degree, has been able to show that a couple of times, right?
Yep.
So maybe. But right now it feels relegated to a career backup, much like Blaine Gabbert when he left. And by the way, that's not a bad gig.
No.
Like Chad Henne got a couple starting jobs, boom, backup. You know, you just, sooner or later, you know it.
Obviously, what was sacrificed, though, to get Mitch Trubisky, I mean, they didn't get their money's worth.
Epic
let's just
fail.
Say. Yeah.
Epic fail.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew. I thought that was a failure Thursday night. You know me, I'm a big fan of Gardner. I'm a believer in Minshew. I thought it was a bad performance. There's some things actually floating around. Like he didn't, I forget who brought it up. I saw it on social media. Like he didn't play as bad as everybody's saying. Yeah, you know what? I think he kind of didn't play good though. You know, I mean, and his bad. It was it was bad enough.
You know, let's just say this: whether you think he played a horrible game, an okay game, regardless of that, it comes down to one thing. Did Gardner Minshew cement himself as a starting quarterback for the future of the Jacksonville Jaguars? That's what the season's all about right now.
Yeah, and every game is a validation of that or not.
Exactly. Week 1, I think he did. Week 2, I think he did. Week 3, absolutely not.
No, and I think you got to be careful not to jump off the train after that one game. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, nobody's jumping off Lamar Jackson's train after yesterday. He looked awful. We'll get to that later. But, I mean, he looked terrible. I mean, he looked a lot like Minshew looked Thursday night.
Yeah.
Relative to bad performances. In fact, I would argue that Minshew didn't look that bad.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, Lamar Jackson's also a former MVP.
Well,
so he's got a little more.
It's all about equity.
He's got a little more cachet.
It's all about equity. Like, look at Baltimore's defense last night. You know, somebody said to me, like, well, wow, man, look at that defense, right? Look, they ain't doing anything. And I understand they're going against Kansas City, but they're supposed to be good. And they're having they've built up enough equity to have a one-off where people aren't killing them. That's the thing. Like, if you're around here, there's no equity built up for anybody in the Jags building. There just isn't. And so you don't have that give and take. There is a little bit of equity, I think, built up for Minshew. A little bit. So I actually say nobody in the building. I think Minshew actually has a little bit of leeway here as a young QB to have some poor games, but bounce back. But you got to bounce back. You can't stack up what I said last night on TV. You can't stack up the stinkers, man. You just can't do that. If you want to be the franchise QB, you cannot do that. And I think Kuz is playing the wall that says it all. Marcel Robinson made last night, and it shows a couple of performances where he was really bad. Remember New Orleans last year? They bottled him up. He bounced back against Cincinnati the next week, and they won the game. Now, he wasn't unbelievable. This isn't like, wow, wait until you see how he bounces back. I'm just giving you a little history lesson. And after a really bad game, he bounced back to get a win, threw a touchdown, 250 yards. They actually, remember that game last year against Cincinnati? They marched right down the field. They looked really good, but they couldn't punch it in. 4 plays from the 1-yard line. It felt like they were about to blow Cincinnati out. Instead, they kept them right in it. The other game was the Houston game in London. The weird thing about that game is he then went to the bench for Foles.
Correct.
So he didn't play for another month. And then they really got crushed by the Chargers. But it was the game after this. So it was almost like back-to-back not-so-great games. And then after that, it was the Oakland game where he rallies the Jags to win. That's kind of his next, like, bounce-back performance.
Yeah.
And then you have this one. I think this game the other night fit in the category of that Houston game and that New Orleans game. So how will he bounce back is a big question around here.
And listen, he does have some, I forgot what the verbiage that you use, but he does have he has some cachet. He has some respect on that team just because think about it. In terms of what he was able to accomplish his rookie year, there's a reason why Nick Foles is in Chicago right now and not in the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's because Gardner Minshew earned that, right? So there is some leeway. There is some respect of how they feel about Gardner Minshew. But like Doug Marrone said before, we're not looking at last season, and they shouldn't be looking at last season either in his performances. The audition right now is for this year and Gardner Minshew, and you have to win games, and you have to go out there and perform up to the best of your because if you then they're going to draft a quarterback next year. It's as simple as that. So, yes, it is one game. You have to look past it. You have to move on. Hopefully you can string together some better games. But I'm just saying if we see more of those Miami games, he's not going to be the starting quarterback. It's simple as that.
Exactly. And that's what you got to be really careful of, right? I said this Friday. I said The problem with Minshew's performance for me the other night was not that he had a bad bottom. The bat can't go that low to the floor. The floor of him has to be higher. You can't have that much separation between what's good the last 3 times out, if you date back to last year, and then what's not good. And I thought everything looked off for Minshew. I know the stats weren't like horrific, but everything looked off in that game to me. And so my belief is, if like even Lamar Jackson, this is what I would say about Lamar Jackson. You're great as an NFL MVP. Your floor cannot look like less than 100 yards throwing and can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, though. Yes, his floor was extremely low, and it was not a good look for Gardner Minshew, but he's getting no help. There's a reason why Mitch Trubisky lasted as long as he did, because he had probably one of the best defenses in Chicago having his back. True. So even Mitch Trubisky had horrible game after horrible game after horrible game, well, they were still in it because the defense allowed him to be. That's not the case here in Jacksonville. If you go down 14-0, you're not coming back from it, and you're taking that out. So with Minshew, he also almost played perfect to the point where he has to give his team a chance to win because, let's be honest, the defense right now does not have his back.
Yeah, and nobody had his back that day. The offensive line wasn't great. Chris Conley was dropping passes as well. Yeah. But I also can't sit here. We did this before. I feel like I did this a little bit with Bortles. He doesn't have any help. He doesn't do this. Well, the nature of the QB position is you've got to elevate anyway. And I can't just sit. It's okay to do it as a one-off. If I'm his agent, I'm telling him, look, Gardner wasn't even that bad, man. I mean, look at you guys. You can't even catch a ball. You can't even do this. You put him in a spot where he had to be flawless. I get it. I could make those arguments. I'm just saying you can't stack up the back-to-back bad ones, and you can't have this huge gap if you're trying to be the guy. There's less error for you. That's less margin of error. And so his bad, I just don't think it can look like that. Statistically, it wasn't as bad as I'm probably saying. Yeah. I think if you watch that game in live action, it didn't look great for Gardner on Thursday.
No, it didn't look great, but I think it can look that bad if you have teammates that can back you up, and guess what? You don't have that, so it is what it is.
That's a good point. It's a fair point. Let's see if he bounces back. I think that's the story in Jacksonville this week. They all have to. But I have more confidence that Gardner will bounce back than the defense will. Right?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's more important in a sense, because you're trying to figure out if this guy's the guy.
It's more importance from I guess it's more fun to watch.
More fun to watch, but also bigger picture, it's more important.
For him, absolutely. We still got to win.
Yeah, you got to win. When we come back, Jason Fitz joins us. I want to answer this question. I'm going to give you guys the pick. You get Mahomes, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers right now for a game next week. Who you taking? Think about it when we come back on ESPN 690.
CGC Water is on a mission. If you are not filtering your water, you are the filter. The mission is to provide all who can hear this message with clean, purified drinking water, period. Up to 60% of the human body is made up of water, making the CGC Water mission vitally important to living a healthy life. CGC offers no contact sales and service appointments and takes all necessary precautions while in your home. Kinetico systems from CGC Water remove up to 99% of the contaminants. And this month, get 50% off a K5 reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Get peace of mind knowing your family is drinking great tasting, purified water. That's what we do at my home. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Join the mission and allow CGC Water to purify your drinking water. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Servicing Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
WFOX Fox 30 has been removed from the service of Dish Network after the satellite provider refused to agree to a fair deal for a new retransmission consent agreement with Cox Media Group. If you're affected by this decision to deprive you of important local news and to watch your favorite teams at the start of football season, then make your voice heard. Call Dish today at 1-800-333-3474 and demand they put Fox 30 back on Dish.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Nearly 250,000 men and women in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
It's time for some straight talk. You know where the full court press is in basketball, right?
full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract, full coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sure thing, we can help you with your wipers. If yours are squeaking or streaking, it's probably time to replace them. We've got great deals on wipers that can stand up to any weather. Right now, you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Quantum wiper blades. And with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup, you can get them fast. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
High school football is back. Listen Friday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Presented by Honda of the Avenues. Action Sports Jack's Brent Martineau takes you around Northeast Florida for up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from your favorite teams. The Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Presented by Honda of the Avenues. Friday nights at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
The first one to Sherm, we'd actually had ran it my first year starting against the Patriots, and they had accidentally covered it because the guy was just following the ball, and so we kind of been hanging on to that one, trying to find the right opportunity. And I thought Coach Reed did a great job of calling it there on that down and distance and to get that touchdown. Coach Reed and Eric Bieniemy and Coach Bieniemy, and so that one was good. And then the other one was a play that we worked on in training camp that we had drawn up, and I thought Fish did a great job of reporting and then making a heck of a catch because he was more open in practice. So, I mean, I had to throw it there high for him, and he made a great catch on it.
That is Patrick Mahomes, not Pat. It's Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City Chiefs, they looked good last night in a win over the Baltimore Ravens, and the Chiefs, haven't lost in forever. No, Austin Lane Coos here on a Tuesday, and Tuesday's 4 o'clock. Always joined by Jason Fitz from ESPN, Spain and Fitz on ESPN Radio, 7 o'clock. And Jason joins us right now. I've got the $1 million question. You get Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers right now. You can't take their teams. You just get the quarterback. Who are you taking?
No, Patrick Mahomes, all that. I mean, I can't just even put into words the playmaking we constantly see from him. And it's not that everybody else doesn't do their thing, but I mean, especially if you're talking about today, I think if you watch clips of Aaron Rodgers from several years ago, you remember how athletic he used to be. He's not necessarily that same guy at this point. And, I'll take Russ as the winner, and I love everything about Russ. But Mahomes, I mean, last night he had this little moment where he jumped, didn't throw the ball. Everybody jumped with him. Then he turns and throws the ball a total different direction. It's like he does things that we've never seen before. There are kids today in high school that are trying to practice the type of passes he's pulling off in games because it's so much fun to watch. I don't know that we've ever seen an athlete like this do what he's doing at the quarterback position. And I think he's got a genuine shot at being the greatest of all time. So I'm taking Mahomes.
Hello to Jason Fitz, by the way, as we come off that big game, that big matchup that Lamar Jackson didn't really do his part last night in that game. And here's the curiosity, Austin, on that question is, they're so loaded in Kansas City. They are so loaded up. Yeah. You think about everything around it. You talk about Andy Reid's form, and you have Andy Reid, and you have Eric Bieniemy, who's a great mind, and he's going to be the next big. He already should have a coaching job, but he will, hopefully soon. And you have all these weapons. I'm curious, what if you put him on the Seattle Seahawks? What if you put him on the Green Bay Packers? Would he be this tremendous?
So first of all, to answer your question of who I would take, I know experience is a big thing, but I'm taking Kyler Murray. Now, second question. No, I'm taking Kyler Murray. Now second,
hey,
Kyler
Fitz,
Murray.
we have a Kyler Murray, Team Minshew thing going on
I'm taking
here.
Kyler Murray. So anyways, to get more in depth that question, you make a great point here, Brent, because it's the argument that I always got in when I was asked the question, who's better, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? One can make an argument and say Tom Brady was so great because of Bill Belichick and that offense and just the way they ran things, right? On the other side, Aaron Rodgers, probably one of the best quarterbacks of all time, but I feel like if you put Aaron Rodgers on any team, he immediately makes them better. With Tom Brady, you need an offensive line, right? You need a certain kind of play calling. So I think that Aaron Rodgers as a skill set is the better quarterback. Now, if you break down Patrick Mahomes, it's kind of that Aaron Rodgers effect, where no matter where Patrick Mahomes is going to go, he's going to make that team better. Yes, he's got a scheme that's beneficial for him. Yes, he's got the skill players that are beneficial towards him. But I just think the way that guy can sling the ball, his mobility to say the least, I think Patrick Mahomes can make any team better.
Yeah, he did certainly. I mean, I think all three could. That's why I like this comparison better than maybe your Brady and Rodgers one, because I think all three could make that other team. They're playing such good football right now. They're out of their minds. The other side of this, Jason, is Lamar Jackson. You know, I just did a segment previously, can Gardner Minshew bounce back this coming week? And my big problem with Minshew's performance Thursday night is that the floor sometimes is too low. His good is really good, but his floor is too low. I think we saw that a little bit from Lamar Jackson. That'd be my one criticism. Yeah, he's MVP good when he's good, but I don't think your bad should be as bad as that was last night.
Well, I agree to a certain extent, but I also think you're right, and we've seen this in some big moments, but there's also a structure to the offense. And one of the things that I really credited yesterday coming into the matchup is that both coaches on both sidelines have looked at their weapons that they have and said, how do we tailor something around it? I don't really feel like the Baltimore offense, like if you're an offense that's predicated on spreading the ball out and you can't run, then we yell at you during the Super Bowl when all of a sudden you can't chew the clock out, right? Like there's certain offenses are built in a way that they can't do the opposite thing. And that's the case in a lot of ways to me to the Ravens offense, is that it's built around this set of skills that Lamar Jackson has that's built a little bit on the run and getting on everybody to sort of have to be disciplined in that. And then it creates passing lanes because of that. So if you're down by a couple of touchdowns and the other side knows that you're not going to run, now they've taken away the dynamic of how the offense is built. So a little of that is on Lamar Jackson, but a lot of that is also on the construction of the offense in Baltimore, which when it works is spectacular, but when you're down by 2 touchdowns isn't going to give you a lot of chance.
Jason, there's still a lot of ball left to play this NFL season. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves a little bit, but you have teams like the New York Jets that are 0-3, right? Teams like the Denver Broncos 0-3, New York Giants 0-3, Vikings 0-3. I want to talk about the Giants and the Vikings real quick, right? Because let's say that they keep on sliding, and let's say they can't win a lot of games. I think the Vikings would be the biggest upset of all time if they finish last in the division. But regardless of that, for the sake of this drill here, let's say they finish last, and let's say that they're in the running for the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. Do you think that Trevor Lawrence is that once-in-a-generational player where if you're the Giants or you're the Vikings, and let's keep in mind, the Giants, they have Daniel Jones right now, and they put a lot into him, and the Vikings are very committed to Kirk Cousins right now. Do you pull the trigger on Trevor Lawrence and try to get him, even though there's other factors like, Daniel Jones being the first-round pick, even though there are the factors of Kirk Cousins getting all that money?
In Minnesota, yes. I think Trevor Lawrence would be the difference, because Kirk Cousins just hasn't been good enough. So if I'm Minnesota, I've got a roster there that I believe in. I'm going to put Trevor Lawrence on that and believe that all of a sudden we win more games. On that dumpster fire of a Giants roster, I don't care who you put there. I don't care if you put Patrick Mahomes on that team. I don't think that team's any good. That offensive line is absolutely hot garbage. They haven't been able to figure out anything on the defensive side of the ball. We still don't know what their coaching situation looks like. I just can't believe that we're going to change the quarterback and it's going to change the fortunes. The Giants have so many needs that if they end up with the first pick in the draft, this is one of those rare times when I say I'm not sure, even though I believe Trevor Lawrence is a generational type player, I don't know that you can have enough success with just him. You might have to look at trading him away for a bounty and then going in and actually, building an entire roster. Like Gettleman, what he's done is almost criminal to that Giants roster as a whole. We still don't know if Daniel Jones is any good, because how can you play when the guys around you are not capable of playing at an NFL level?
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of Sam Darnold might be in the same situation. They're so bad. Yeah. They are so bad around him.
But he's also seeing ghosts, though, too. I don't want my quarterback seeing ghosts,
I would have more confidence in Daniel Jones than I do in Sam Darnold, because there's been more to work with Darnold, and he's still not getting it done.
Yeah.
In terms of, he's played more games, but he doesn't have anything there. I mean, it's really hard. You can make the case that he just doesn't have anything around him. Jason Fitz with us from ESPN Radio, Spain and Fitz, 7 o'clock. Joins us every Tuesday. We don't usually talk a lot of other things other than football, but how about the NBA, the finals, Miami Heat, LeBron James and this Laker team, and LeBron has to win this, right? This is like part of the legacy play of this is he's such a big favorite. The Lakers have to win.
Yeah, I think when you start talking about that aspect of it, I mean, if he's able to win a championship this year in the bubble, in the year that obviously led to the tragic death of Kobe and Gigi Bryant, like you start thinking about what that means for cementing even the Lakers portion of his legacy. For somebody that was not necessarily accepted by Lakers fans when he came over, this is that moment that would change that. So I think there is some element of that. I think the Lakers are the better team here, guys, just because of AD and LeBron. They're two incredible players that are difficult for anybody to match up against. The only thing I'd say is that in the bubble and through the playoffs, there have been nights that we've seen sort of a lackadaisical effort from AD or LeBron, take your pick, mostly from AD in that situation. They've always bounced right back, but you're not going to get away with that against this Heat team. This Heat team may not be as talented, but they've got the better coach going into this in Spoelstra, and they've got the better motor, the better give a darn, the better effort play on it from guys that are scrappy and from guys that have sort of learned how to gel with each other. So they can create some matchup issues against the Lakers. It's going to take AD and LeBron really being on to win the series. I think they will do that, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Miami make it a lot more difficult than a lot of people think.
Jason, before we let you go here, I have a little exercise for you.
Of course you do.
Are you down to play, man? Are you down to play?
Oh, yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Game mode. Here we go. So, listen, man, when it comes to the Ravens and Chiefs, I think everybody was excited for that game. You didn't have to sell that game at all. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, undefeated teams going toe-to-toe. Like, we were all excited for that game. Thursday Night Football features the 0-3 Denver Broncos traveling to the 0-3 New York Jets. Jason Fitz, I want you to sell on why I should watch this game this Thursday night. And good luck to you, sir.
What do we focus on? Jerry Jeudy? Is that our sales pitch here? Like, you know what? Alabama's best wideout has gone to Denver, where nobody's going to throw to look. Maybe the jerseys will be cool. Maybe they'll do like some sort of neon thing. Like, I mean, this is the of all the hot garbage Thursday Night Football matchups. And look, I'm not mad at it. Like, I understand beginning of the week for the NFL week, everybody's thirsty for it. Usually, you burn this matchup on a night where everybody's going to watch football anyway. But this one's absolutely hot garbage. I mean, I can't find anything about the Jets that's even appealing as a team to watch right now. I didn't believe in Darnold coming out. I don't really believe in Darnold now. I think Adam Gase has actually found a way to take bad ingredients and make an even worse dish out of it. And the Broncos have no quarterback, which is what they're going to put on John Elway's tombstone a long, long time from now. I was a great quarterback that could never find a quarterback. Like that's, I mean, the absolute deficiency. This is the fire bowl. Like, which one of these idiots should be fired because they're just running their teams into the ground?
Well, I'm sold. Neon jerseys and someone's getting fired.
Hey, you know how you promote this game? Yeah. You promote it with like Talladega and Daytona International Speedway wrecks and cars flying through the air.
Just interceptions or turnovers.
You go super pro. So either Adam Gase or John Elway is going to have to wrestle a bear at midfield for the loser. Now I'm going to watch.
Now we're talking. I'm all in.
I thought you were going to try to sell us on the return of Bortles potentially for Denver.
Brent, my God. It takes more than Jacksonville, Brent. Right? There's a bigger audience out there. There's the city of Jacksonville.
All right, Jason Fitz, thanks for jumping in, man. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
I'm looking for somebody to wrestle a bear. That's all I want. You guys have a great week.
You too, man.
Jason Fitz, 7 o'clock at Spain and Fitz on ESPN Radio all across the country. And we always have fun with Jason. That's a really good point. I mean, it is it's a clunker. It's a stinker. You remember a couple years ago when I think it was it was kind of a rule. I think it was an unwritten rule. It's a loose rule to say every team should get a primetime game. But it's not an actual rule, is my understanding of it. Or either it was and they loosened it up, or it's never really been an actual rule, but they try. And I think it was kind of thought that, like, Shad Khan was basically like, don't worry about putting us on primetime. I mean, it was like, I would be more of that. You run a big risk. Well, you don't run a big risk. The NFL is such a billion-dollar business. look how bad the Jags have been overall, and the value of their team is threefold what it used to be. So I don't want to over-dramatize by say you run the risk. But from a narrative standpoint, where the Jets right now are just I saw an article today that said, like, New Yuck instead of New York, right?
Yeah.
And which is very true in that sense. But the Jags have been like this too. Like, I love the primetime games. By 11 o'clock on Thursday night, I said, I hate the primetime games. Like Jacksonville, that was not a good show. Like, it doesn't make Jacksonville look good. It didn't make the Jags look good. It doesn't make Doug Marrone look good. Doesn't make Shad Khan look good. Doesn't make Gardner Minshew look good. It didn't make anybody but James Robinson look good. And that's if you really wanted to deep dive. So it was like, I wish they didn't play that on Thursday night. If you're going to look like that, it's better to not play. You know, if the Ravens want to look like that last night, well, I can give you 20 examples of the last 5 years where they looked good in prime time. See, so these, I almost, if I was the Jets, I'd be like, don't put us on this year. We knew we were going to stink anyway. Don't put us on.
Well, listen, and I understand right now that with the Jaguars, it was a bad look for sure on Thursday night primetime television, but keep in mind what happened last year. It put Gardner Minshew on the map. Nobody knew who Gardner Minshew was until that Thursday night game. So, you know, you can't have it both ways.
No, you can't.
Either you win and you do well, and then you get the Uncle Rico spot on NFL Network, or you lose and no one's talking about you. You can't have both ways. But from this perspective, though, from the Jets and Broncos perspective,
what's there to be gained?
What's going to come of it?
Well, the Broncos are different. The Broncos are now, you know, they hurt the quarterback's hurt.
I don't know. I guess like Noah Fant, he could do something if he has. I don't know.
Again, you lose your quarterback early in the year, it's a little different. I just think the Jets are the joke here. Right? The Jets are the laughing stock here. Like the Jets, there is nothing. Like, even if Sam Darnold plays well, you're just going to be like, well, it was against the Broncos and he got lucky. Like, this isn't going to be a coming out party for Sam Darnold.
It's like I can watch like Fireman Ed in the stands too going crazy. Like, at least there's some kind of ambiance there. There's nothing. There's literally nothing to get excited about.
Fireman Ed probably retired for a second time.
Yeah, exactly. Probably did, man. He probably went to the New York Giants. Well, I didn't go to the Giants either because the Giants are trash as well.
He's going to Buffalo.
That dude, there we go. That dude needs a team, man. That dude needs a team.
It's just it's a wild thing. I guess if you subscribe to any press is good press, and that's kind of what the NFL does in a way, right? Whether it's and sports teams do, it's like controversy or good or bad. I just.
Regardless if he has a good game, Darnold jerseys aren't going to be flying off the shelves. Like,
they're not.
There's nothing to gain.
There is very little to gain for the Jets especially, and probably the NFL Thursday night. It's just one of those throwaway nights. And I think the ratings will speak to that. And that's what you get sometimes. I mean, that's just part of it. Hey, back to the Mahomes, Watson, Rodgers thing. Like, everybody is so... Like, I guess I always try to play. I don't know if I do it intentionally or subconsciously, but I just try to play. Sometimes I'm like, all right, everybody is talking about this guy. Like, he's the greatest thing ever. He's going to be the greatest ever. He's going to be, and I think he's phenomenal. Like, I really like Mahomes. But I think sometimes we fall in love so quick. And that's what got me to the question, like, if you tell me hands down Patrick Mahomes is the best QB in the game right now, I don't say that. I don't. Oof. Like, I think Russell Wilson right now, with what he has and what he's done with what he has, is just as impressive as watching Mahomes play football. I know he's in Seattle and we don't watch him as much, and I know they haven't won as big as much. But again, I think you have to take into account the fact that Kansas City is playing with a video game offense. And they've got a very good, smart coach, too, that's helping. He's just in such as – I'm not taking away from him. He's fantastic. But you have to account for the fact that he is in this situation that is absolutely tremendous, much like Brady. That's why we always had the Brady-Belichick conversation. Yeah. Brady was in a great situation, and he took advantage of that, and his skill set and his talent showcased in that. I think Mahomes is that right now.
But then how is it fair to say, well, Patrick Mahomes has too much help around him, but then Aaron Rodgers has maybe even less help than Russell Wilson does, and Aaron Rodgers is playing just as well as Russell Wilson?
That's why I brought them into it. Like, but I think Rodgers is so... Because he's so savvy and kind of like that older quarterback. And I always compartmentalize these quarterbacks and say, like, I thought Brady won a lot at the line of scrimmage. I think Rodgers wins a lot. I think Drew Brees wins a lot at the line of scrimmage. I think Manning wins a lot at the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
I think Russell Wilson probably now wins a lot at the line of scrimmage. Like, Mahomes isn't doing that because he's not old enough to do that just yet. Like, he'll even said in the broadcast, he's got a lot more to learn. I think these other guys, they know every trick right now. But I also feel like the playmaking ability of Russell Wilson is on display, maybe even more so than Rodgers, because what you wow about with Rodgers is his supreme arm talent.
Sure.
Right? So you take the veteran savvy and his arm talent. What I take with Russell Wilson is the silly playmaking skills. And his knowledge and his veteran experience. What are you taking with Mahomes? Yeah, he's got great arm talent. But it's also the silly playmaking experience, you know?
No, I hear you, man. But if we're going to go just based off help alone, I mean, you have to go Aaron Rodgers then, right? Because his best wide receiver, Devontae Adams, is out right now.
Yeah.
He's throwing to a player that the Jaguars didn't even want. He's throwing to Allen Lazard and Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
Where is Valdez-Scantling from? Can anybody tell me? Probably not. Like, at least Russell Wilson, he's got DK Metcalf, showed a really good rookie year. He's got Tyler Lockett, always been pretty dependable. He's got Greg Olsen, obviously up there in age, but still pretty dependable, can run some good routes at tight end. So with that being said, Russell Wilson has a lot more help right now than Aaron Rodgers. So I'd give the nod to Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, listen, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback out of all these in my opinion. And it's simple as this. Whether it's Andy Reid, whether it's the weapons that he has around him, the stats speak for themselves, right? And the beauty and this is what makes Kansas City such a great organization. And this is why I think the Chiefs are going to win again, because they're committed to winning right now. We are never going to know if Patrick Mahomes is truly the best quarterback of all time in the NFL, because we're never going to see Patrick Mahomes on another team. And we're never going to see Patrick Mahomes without weapons. Like, the Chiefs realize, like, listen, Patrick Mahomes is the future of this team. Pay him. Sounds good. All right, so who does he need on his team? Well, he needs Travis Kelce. Pay him. He needs Tyreek Hill. Pay him. Andy Reid, head coach. He needs him. Pay him. Like, they've taken care of Patrick Mahomes, so we never have to ask that question. Like with Tom Brady, we're going to ask that question now in Tampa Bay. You know, and maybe down the line, maybe Patrick Mahomes goes someplace else. But my point is that they're letting him succeed. They're giving him every opportunity to succeed. And as long as that's the case, there's no argument in my opinion.
Yeah, and you were right on the money, by the way. They're doing a great job of it, and it kind of goes into the conversation we had a little bit yesterday, where right now I would just load up on offense and figure it out on defense, because that's what you're keeping up with. And that's what they're trying to do, and that's what a lot of the league is doing right now. And it's hard to play defense. And, yeah, you still need – Kansas City's making stops. They come up with a big fumble on Lamar Jackson. Like, as soon as every time I'm about to tweet, so you don't need defense, somebody makes a defensive play.
Sure.
But I feel like you only need 3 or 4 defensive plays, and because you're going to make 25 offensive plays in a game. And I think Kansas City's the epitome of that. But to your point, like, statistically, what you're looking at with Mahomes is incredible.
Yes.
Well, statistically, what I'm looking at with Russell Wilson is absolutely unfathomable and incredible, and he's doing it with less. That's my point.
Let's hear it. I mean, what do the stats say?
Let's see. He's got they're right next to each. Actually, all three are right next to each other here, so this should work out well. This does not read well on NFL.com, by the way. But yards per attempt, Russell Wilson 9. Patrick Mahomes 7.4, Aaron Rodgers 8.4, all in the same ballpark. Yep. Completion percentage, Russell Wilson 77, Patrick Mahomes 68, Aaron Rodgers 67. Touchdowns, Russell Wilson 14, Patrick Mahomes 9, Aaron Rodgers 9. Interceptions, 1 for Russell Wilson, none for the other 2 guys. Quarterback rating, 139 for Russell Wilson, 114 for Mahomes, 121 for Aaron Rodgers. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, did this show like the rushing touchdowns? Because, I mean, those count too. There's a reason why Lamar Jackson was the MVP last year.
Yeah, you're big into these rushing guys.
Hey, I'm into touchdowns, dude.
Let me see. When I look up quarterbacks, it's funny, but passing stats come up. It's really interesting. Let's see. I don't know if I can get to.
I can look it up real quick too.
They don't really want to show the rushing ones. But anyway,
that's because they don't want Patrick Mahomes to make it.
But am I making a decent point? I mean, you're like, everybody knows the numbers are incredible for Patrick Mahomes. Well, they're even more incredible for Russell Wilson right now.
Sure, and I absolutely agree with you, without a doubt. But I think with what Patrick Mahomes has been able to do in his first 4 years of football, I mean,
yeah. Well, again, you got to the context of the question is not who you want to build the franchise with. Yeah. It's not like who's the best quarterback on their resume, because they're all really good. And right now, you take any of them for the next couple of years. And I understand if you're starting an organization, you would take Patrick Mahomes. He's 25. Like, of course you would.
Yeah.
So it's more like, hey, you got a couple weeks, and you're going to grab a quarterback. And I don't know. I think I would take Russell Wilson right now over Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I know that sounds crazy. I take all 3. Yeah. But if I had to pick one, I think Russell Wilson's playing the best football out of anybody.
So Mahomes has 1 rushing touchdown.
Okay, does Wilson?
No.
Does he Rodgers yet?
No.
Because they all 3 can run. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I haven't seen one discount double check yet, so no. So only Patrick Mahomes has 1 rushing touchdown. That's it. Came last night.
Because they all can move. They all can run. What's interesting is, like, I saw sacks.
Yeah.
Mahomes and Rodgers have 2.
Yeah.
Wilson has 9.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that says something more about he tries to extend plays, which they all do, or if it says something about their offensive line, which then would speak to my point again.
No, for sure. And listen, at the end of the day, I guess I just go off of what I've watched on TV. Like, I've seen Russell Wilson play a lot. Those have been the 4 o'clock games here on the slate in Jacksonville, and obviously I've seen Patrick Mahomes play a little bit. And I just think the brand of ball that Patrick Mahomes can throw, and once again, maybe that's due to his receivers and things like that, but just the plays that he can make. And Russell Wilson can make plays too as well. But I would probably just go Patrick Mahomes over Russell Wilson. How come you're not bringing up Josh Allen?
Well, because I don't know the Allen stuff in terms of right now. He would be 4th on anybody's list in this conversation.
Sure, but I'm just saying, I mean, touchdowns.
He's
got
playing
12.
fantastic. Yeah.
He's got 12 total touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm not dismissing what they've done. They're accomplished. The 3 guys that we're mentioning are all accomplished. They're all similar in style. They can chuck the deep ball. I mean, those other guys probably have more arm talent than Russell Wilson, but they're savvy. They've got enough game experience now. They've been on the big stage. I mean, they're all comparable. They can move. Again, the difference between the Bradys and the Manning and even the Drew Brees conversation is you're talking about a different style quarterback. So it's like, okay, do you want this or that? Yeah. These 3 guys, you could take the whole package, and they're somewhat similar. Last thought on this, and this is where Mahomes comes into play, and I think this is kind of why he is the overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, look at this guy. It's because of the wild nature of what it looks like. Even the fullback touchdown. Who underhands a pass to anybody, right? The no-look stuff. The 16-step drop and then just launch it into the sky, and Tyreek Hill, or no, it was Mecole Hardman's waiting right there. Yeah. I mean, he does, but they all do that too. See, that's why I think we're discounting. We've seen those kind of silly, goofy, crazy, entertaining plays from both other guys, Wilson and Rodgers. And I know Mahomes is the hottest thing going right now, and he's tremendous. Heck, he hasn't thrown an interception in his career in September. It's unbelievable. I just think we're overlooking those 2 other guys right now, especially Russell Wilson.
Also looking over Kyler Murray, who has 10 total touchdowns, which is good for 3rd right now in the NFL. Good for 3rd.
Yeah. How many rushing touchdowns, right? Leads the league in rushing touchdowns.
He's got 4. Hey, he's got 4. That's I'm just saying.
As many rushing touchdowns as interceptions?
That's how the stat. Total touchdowns, Brett. 3rd place right now. See, I can find stats or anything if I really wanted to.
Yes, you could. Yeah. That's a fun conversation. Listen, the bottom line is everybody would take there's a lot of good quarterback play right now.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Yep.
There's a lot of good quarterback play. And then there's the quarterback plays that we're wondering, do they, like the old guy checklist? Where are we at with it? Drew Brees? Right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady? He still hasn't scintillated me, if you will.
Philip Rivers?
Is that a phrase?
Scintillated?
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking about football? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Is that bad right there, what I just said?
You might want to check the Google on that one. You might want to check the Urban Dictionary on that one, man. Yeah.
Scintillating, sparkling, or shining brightly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I've heard that word used before in different topics.
I have not.
I have.
Obviously, you don't watch them.
Never mind.
The bottom line is
that was their line.
Like Tom Brady, has he got your attention yet? Not really.
I'm good.
Not really.
Philip
right?
Rivers.
And Rivers. I mean, it's just they played the Jets, man. Their defense had 2 pick sixes and they had a safety, and Jonathan Taylor looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Rivers, I mean, they've won a couple of games.
They brought in Jacoby Brissett just because, like, what do you want us to do? Yeah.
Rest the old guy.
Yeah, rest the old guy.
Oh, speaking of, let's go second-year quarterback report card when we come back. How about it?
Are you sure you want to do that?
Are you sure you want to do it?
Are you sure you want to do that?
No, I don't.
I'm all right. I'll be all right.
I think we might go over this week.
Could be worse.
Yeah, we're going over.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're going over.
Go and get that pen ready. Get that wrist ready.
We'll have that when we come back on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tracking partly to mostly cloudy skies today, warm and humid in the mid-80s. Also, some heavy showers and thunderstorms develop this afternoon and extending into the evening hours ahead of a cold front will dry out overnight and drop down to the mid-60s. With your First Alert forecast, I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Save thousands right now with Beard's unbeatable deals.
Hey, boss, don't you just love this time of year?
No.
Come on, the weather's changing, football season's here.
I don't like anything in 2020, okay?
Fair enough, but Halloween will be here before you know it.
True. That's always a good night for us crooks. Nobody gives a second look to our disguises.
Yup, all we gotta do is make sure we pick houses without Safe Touch security and we're golden.
Just mentioning Safe Touch security puts me in a foul mood.
I know, all those houses off limits to us crooks because of Safe Touch.
Yeah, they got their 45-second response time, the two-way communicator.
No freedom-loving crook messes with a Safe Touch house.
Exactly. It's why we stick to the Crooks Are Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Hey, now there's one thing that's not upside down this year.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number LVA 4188.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jack's Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jackscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
When September ends, so does Diamonds Direct's free finance offer. So listen, you have until Wednesday to take advantage of this. 5 years, 0 interest with no money down. Everybody's doing it. It's incredible. You can spread your payments over 5 whole years. No down payment and no interest, period. But don't wait. This offer ends Wednesday and will not be extended on approved credit. 5 years, 0 interest. Get details, store hours, and directions now at diamondsdirect.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Come to the grand opening of Q Delicia, the best Mexican-American sports bar in town. Enjoy ice-cold beer, $10 sangria pitchers, along with the best quesadillas and fajitas in town while watching the game. If you can't go, at least you can watch. But don't be surprised if you hear, "Goal!" You can watch football, NFL, NBA, MLB, boxing, UFC, and more on multiple HD TVs. Visit Q Delicia for the grand opening on 3980 Southside Boulevard today. Q Delicia, the Mexican-American sports bar you never knew you needed. Call 904-253-3477.
The ride you want, the savings you need. Oh, and when it comes to credit approval, almost everyone gets approved. Sounds like it's time to get it all and get to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Finding the best ride starts with big-time selection. And at Arlington Toyota, you'll find over 750 new and pre-owned on the lot every day. Right now at Arlington, shop over 100 quality pre-owned cars to buy at $0 down and just $199 a month. Looking for a truck or SUV? Arlington's got 50 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs to buy at $0 down and $269 a month. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. Now, when I say get it all at Arlington, I mean it, because you'll get a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Just another way that Arlington goes the extra mile for you. Get it all when you shop pre-owned at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our best wellness program, and welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
Are you now worried about how to continue providing the same level of service to your customers? Many service-oriented businesses are struggling to create new ways to maintain their customers. What happens to those that haven't been able to adapt? At SCORE, we can help by offering advice and resources through a vast library of online information and timely webinars. Since 1964, SCORE has assisted more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. Go to our website, jacksonville.score.org, to see how we can help you today.
Football season is back. Almost. As we, the fans, anticipate the new season, Tailgaters Parking invites you to come experience the best tailgating at TIAA Bank Field. Tailgaters Parkers know that if you've never experienced Tailgaters Parking, you've never experienced tailgating at all. Tailgaters is on Talleyrand Avenue, right across from TIAA Bank Field. It's safe and secure with clean, permanent restrooms and a full-service bar and grill. Reserve your individual or group spaces now at tailgatersparking.com.
HBI, a national leader for career training in the building industry, is providing training, certification, and placement in the construction industry for veterans, their spouses, and children that are over the age of 18 at no cost. The following 2020 class dates are being offered: August 10th, September 14th, October 19th, and November 16th. For more program and class details, please call Joe Jones at 407-717-7609 or visit the website at hbi.org. That's hbi.org.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Where I'm from, marijuana is legal. Can I use it in Florida? Nah, it's illegal here, man. But I have PTSD. Should I at least try to get medical marijuana?
That's legal. But if I were you, I'd talk to my doctor about qualifying conditions and to find out if medical marijuana is even right for you.
Thanks. I'll talk to my doctor.
Join ESPN 690 in Shopping the 904. When you help businesses here on the First Coast, you're really helping all of us. And it keeps our local economy going. That means jobs. 2020 has been a really tough year, especially for locally owned businesses. And you can make a difference when you shop local. So if you live in St. John's, Duval, Baker, Clay, Nassau, or other surrounding counties, shop local. Shop the 904.
Shop the 904.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. Congratulations go out to the Tampa Bay Lightning for bringing the Stanley Cup to Florida by finishing off the Dallas Stars in 6 games with a final score of 2-0. With the Rays in the MLB Playoffs and the Heat in the NBA Finals, Florida could be flush with hardware soon. Last night on Monday Night Football, the defending champs faced last year's MVP, and the Chiefs got the better of the Ravens 34-20. Lamar Jackson looked less than MVP-like with a total of 180 yards rushing and passing. Chiefs D lineman Frank Clark on how they contained him.
You got to be patient. It's a patient game. For a player that's so fast and so, so explosive and he makes so many plays and he can make plays throwing the ball or running the ball. But you got to play a patient game. And, I can't give away too many other secrets, but, because we got to play this man for the next, few years down the road.
And in Jags roster moves, they have dropped defensive lineman Timmy Jernigan and signed veteran kicker Steven Hauschka. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker play ESPN 690.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
Brent Martineau. Some NBA play-by-play here this week as well, right here on ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
You all right?
Yeah, I know. You looked over like you're going to make it.
Yeah, man. I'm making sure we're all good here.
Hey, listen, I get choked up about the new lineup.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
He's a Super Bowl winner. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think the plays that you've seen him make, throughout the course of his career, like you're saying, in big games, in big moments, I think that's what, makes him him. Again, he's never afraid at any moment at all. He doesn't fear a defense. He doesn't fear anything. When he come in there, he's running the show. And again, I think that's what makes him special.
You know who that is? Yeah. I know exactly who it is.
Can you play it again? I didn't hear the whole thing. I'm sorry.
That's what I was trying to tell you to put your headphones on.
I thought you were telling me not to chew in the headphone. That's what I thought you were trying to tell me.
He's a Super Bowl winner. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think the plays that you've seen him make, throughout the course of his career, like you're saying, in big games, in big moments, I think that's what, makes him him. Again, he's never afraid at any moment at all. He doesn't fear a defense. He doesn't fear anything. When he come in there, he's running the show.
I got him. I mean, one question. Is he a Baltimore Raven?
No.
Oh, that was big trust.
No.
Oh.
Oh, gosh. Come on. He said it with
there
confidence.
There is a Jacksonville tie.
Yeah, it's Allen Robinson.
How? What?
That's the game, man. Figure it out.
What? That's what game?
He's talking about Nick Foles.
We were on Patrick Mahomes. We're just going to sidetrack now to go to Nick Foles?
Well, what do you want, a layup?
Well, I mean, I want more than a half-court shot.
I just drained it.
Don't act like
Call
that.
me Steph Curry.
Don't act like everybody knew that was Allen Robinson. No, don't even act like that.
That's the idea. Who can get it?
Okay.
I got it.
You got it. Congratulations. You know what Allen Robinson's voice sounds like more than I do. Hey, Allen Robinson, you sound like Mark Ingram. Cool.
Context clue is everything, too. I mean, he's talked about a Super Bowl winner.
I thought, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl winner. That's what I thought we were talking about.
Not the only one.
I guess not. Last time I checked. Yeah, I had 100 guesses. Never would have got that. Never would have even thought about Nick Foles.
I'm here for you, A-Rob.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep.
I got you. Are you going to this is not a deep dive into politics.
Okay.
But are you will you watch the debate tonight?
Hey. Oh, yeah.
You
I
will?
can't wait. Dude, it's going to – and listen, you know the whole phrase, you have to laugh before you cry?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I'm at right now. I don't know. I'm not political, Brent. You know me. I don't know what's going to happen, but you know what? It's probably going to be an absolute you-know-what show. And you know what? I'm going to tune into it because what else can I do? I can't be sad and sulk. I'm going to laugh at this, and I'm going to use this to be my entertainment.
Season 6 of Call of Duty did just come out.
Did it?
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. It'll be all right.
We're
talking Joe Biden, Donald Trump live, mano y mano, tail of the tape. Let's go, Brent.
I tell you, hey, Kuz, you know what I would tell him? Take the 90 minutes and go watch Social Dilemma, and then you'll realize why we are the way we are in politics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of, right? It's the same method.
Are you guys in a
their whole
cult
thing
now?
is like
What
it
is
has
this?
to be polarizing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the
they're
same
very,
method. It's the same method as everything else, involved in that show.
But they're also running for the leader of the free world, so it's pretty important, regardless of what the commercials say.
Yeah. It's,
okay, Brent. Okay, Brent. Hey, have you been on Facebook lately? Have you seen the passion coming from both sides?
Yeah, but
This
you
is
said
big.
it's pretty important. I mean,
it's important. Yeah. Have you been on Facebook? I'll say that again.
Yeah, I have. I mean, the value chart on this debate and is not up there for me.
People are passionate, though, right?
They are
passionate.
That doesn't make it important. They're passionate.
People usually are passionate towards what they think is important. Tell me I'm wrong.
To be fair,
no.
I did watch the internet debate what color a dress was.
Exactly.
Oh, and hey, by the way,
that is important, Coos.
Hey,
that is important.
And for all you degenerates out there, if you want me to start breaking it down,
I was going to say, what's the bets?
There's bets out there, man.
Prop bets.
What's Trump going to say first? China virus or something else? Like, there's a bunch of bets going on there. So yeah,
I get some money.
I think I saw there was a prop bet somewhere. Now I can't remember the context of it, of which subject.
Yeah,
but
like I said, man, it's going to be absolute crazy and off the wall. And it's not cool that I'm sitting here treating it like it's like a circus, basically. But that's what it is. So either I can sit there and feel bad about what's going to happen to our country, or I can just go down with the boat and say, you know what? Let's have some fun. Letthink have some laughs.
Like that guy on the
Laugh now,
Titanic that
cry
was
later.
drinking.
Yeah, laugh now, cry later.
It's actually pretty well. We said this. I think maybe it was 4 years ago that we were talking about it like this. I don't feel like it was. Maybe there were some other debates going on between now and then. Just didn't feel like 4 years ago to me. But they are become sporting events.
Oh, without a doubt.
They are sporting events.
Correct.
Like, it might as well be Florida, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else is really interesting? Again, this is from somebody very non-political, right? I don't even pretend to know about, because I think I don't know what to believe. So that's really why I don't pay attention.
Sure.
Because why try to get through that mud?
Yeah, I mean, you have your life you have to live, and you're doing the best you can.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm probably ignorant to the facts because it's hard to find the facts. But it would be like it's Florida, Georgia, without the later on, let's have a party and tailgate. Right?
Yeah.
Because what's crazy about what used to be politics, I think, is these debates were meant for people who were undecided.
Correct.
Well, there's nobody that's undecided. Well, very few is undecided.
We're all set. Yeah, we're all set to go.
But they're not waiting for the issues.
No.
They're undecided. They're decided because they've picked the side.
Yeah.
Like they want Florida to win. They want Georgia to win when you play that game here.
Yeah.
Well, they want this guy to win. They want this guy to win. It's become a sporting event.
This is going to be like watching Florida, Georgia, and it's going to be a 3-0 ball game, and no team passes the entire day. And you leave that game thinking like, well, it was Florida, Georgia, but I mean, I guess that's what's going to happen tonight.
But that's the best. That's from a broad view. That's what the debates have become. They've become a sporting event, and you're rooting for your team to win.
Correct.
And what a weird place. That's not what they were intended to be, I don't think. Not very good at civics, but I don't think that's what they were intended to be.
No,
I think you're supposed to listen to the issues and everything else. I don't even know if we'll leave the debate tonight knowing what the issues are in the presidential race.
Probably not, but I'll tell you what we're going to leave it with. Some cool memes, some cool sound bites, some cool GIFs.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait, man. Oh, my arsenal is getting paper thin, so I'm going to load back up tonight with some cool GIFs.
Seriously speaking, how much do you think the percentage of people will be turned tonight or swayed tonight? Say you're kind of a middle person, which there's less and less of, or you're kind of closer to the middle, but you kind of have a side. I mean, what are we looking at? 2%?
Probably.
I mean, that's kind of what
people already have their minds made up.
Yeah, and it's not, by the way, this isn't the only debate, so I mean, it's not like they have to make up their mind right now.
Unless, who knows, unless something like crazy is said where it's like, what did he just say? Maybe then it could be more. But I think people are kind of set in their ways, and they know what they're gonna do come voting time.
Just did 10 minutes on the debate, and not one, at least on Twitter, stick to sports. Anybody on Facebook?
Not that I saw.
Not yet.
It's coming.
I'm looking at the prop bets. Sorry.
No, but it's over. Like the conversation's over. So if you want to say stick to sports now, you're too late
because we're going back to sports.
You missed. It's no longer a jab. Okay.
Yep.
Plus 550 on Trump not saying the words law and order.
Law and Order, that was the one I saw, actually, yeah. So what about give me a Biden one so we can be fair and balanced here like all the networks really are.
We got to be fair and balanced.
Okay.
As he sips his Diet Coke into oblivion, he knows what's up.
Fair and balanced.
Will Joe Biden say fact-checked? It's minus 160 for yes, plus 120 for no.
So he's going to say it, apparently.
I guess so.
I'm not betting. What's worse, betting on that or like preseason games?
Dude, I think it's worse to bet on. No, listen, this is the worst. I think I have more respect for you if you bet on like your kid's little league game compared to this, man. Because you're essentially betting on the future of our country. Like that's bad. Like at least you're betting on your kid. Like listen, I have faith in my son. Or I don't have faith in my son.
There's a prop bet on the color of the ties they'll be wearing. That's a good one to get in on.
Isn't that like automatic?
Isn't Republican red and Democrat blue?
Red is the most likely of this in the odds, I guess.
Well, yeah. Any more brain busters?
I mean, that'd be like a Gator fan wearing a red and black tie.
What are we talking about?
I mean, that's even a prop bet?
Exactly. You think Mullen's going to have
I hope one of them comes out with a paisley one on.
Yellow, but a yellow or gold tie, if Trump wears that, that's plus
There's some kind of awareness going on?
No, yellow, gold, that's a power color.
Oh, is it?
Yellow is, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I remember
yellow.
I remember when I was getting suits, like getting into this business.
Yeah.
And that was like, I remember that clearly. I don't know what other ones are, but I know yellow is I think said a power color.
Sunshiny yellow is a power color.
Yeah.
Huh, I'm about to look that up real quick.
Biden's second most likely is purple.
I don't.
No, that might be for awareness.
I was going to say, there's got to be some kind of awareness stuff.
That might be.
Power colors.
So I'm pretty sure power color is yellow. Tell me I'm wrong. Or maybe it's gold.
No. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trusting this website. Just give me some time. This website looked a little too out there for my liking.
All right, time for our report card on second-year quarterbacks. And it's not a good one. You got it? Not the report card. Red's a power color. Orange is a power color.
Brown, green. It's every color in the thing. Blue, black, gray. No, this is not. I'm not going with this.
Yeah.
There's way too many colors. They can't all be power colors.
Go to Etsy.com or something.
What color are power suits? What is it? I don't know, dude. Sorry. Keep going.
I'll find out later.
Okay, thank you.
Let's get back to football.
Yeah, you're asking the most unprofessional guy of all time.
Yeah, a guy who's never worn a suit.
You know who would know the power colors? I feel like Bachman would know the power colors.
Oh, no doubt. Well, John's a walking power color.
I'm texting him right now.
Yeah.
I think it's tough, John. You got to be in between. John's got a tough job tie. Is he going to go red or blue tie?
Ooh.
Might have to go yellow.
Paisley. Yeah, all right. Yellow. Yeah, Paisley. Yeah. Paisley something. All right.
Time for the report card. Second-year quarterbacks.
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah, there's very, very, very few bright spots.
So Daniel Jones, terrible.
What was the stats? Brent, you want to pop those off real quick?
Well, I got to get the check mark
Okay.
board. I'll go get it. Let's see.
Well, I can look them up right now. I got you.
All right, you get it.
Yep.
You be the statistician today.
Yep.
I'll be the check mark guy.
And how's Daniel Jones doing, by the way? That's your guy this whole season. How's he doing in terms of checks and minuses?
Daniel Jones has none so far.
Okay, so he's got all minuses.
He's got all minuses.
Daniel Jones, obviously a rough game against the 49ers. And keep in mind, it was a 49ers practice squad team that was out there.
True.
17 for 32. 53%, 0.13%. Completion percentage, 107. This is a quarter. Is this the big game? 179 yards total and 0 TIDs, and let's go with 1 interception.
What was his rating?
Not good. I mean, 56.6.
Yeah. Yeesh. All right. No go.
No go.
Drew Lock doesn't play, so that's a minus.
Yeah,
Just
minus.
gotta stay healthy, man. Availability.
Yeah. You got to eat your vitamins, man. You got to drink your milk. Stay healthy.
All right. What about Dwayne Haskins?
Ooh.
Look up Haskins. The scores on ESPN.
No, Brent,
it's funny how people navigate websites differently.
I know. I go right to Pro Football Reference. Cut the check. All right, check this out. 21 for 37. 56.76% completion percentage. 224 yards, the most yards he's thrown all season. 2 touchdowns. 3 interceptions. 58.8% rating. No.
No, the 3 interceptions do you in, man.
Oh, dude, you're done.
I mean,
thanks for playing.
How can you get a check mark with 3 interceptions?
Yep. Minshew? Let's go to Minshew. Don't look at me like that. You know what's coming. Hey. Go and try to delay this as much as possible. The inevitable is coming. The hammer is about to be dropped.
I just said, how do you get a check mark with 3 interceptions? He said, you're right. Just remember that.
Yeah, okay. Gardner Minshew, obviously Thursday night. 30 for 42. Like that completion percentage, right, Brent?
Yeah.
275 yards. I'm not mad at that. 0 touchdowns, though. 1 interception.
And a fumble. In the red zone.
And a fumble.
Like which led basically to a point-blank touchdown.
Yeah.
You want to know what's wild? So you said 275 yards?
Correct.
Kyle Trask, I believe, for Florida on Saturday, had 30 for 4. And I'm not trying to compare. It just shows you the difference in the game. He was 30 for 42, but I think he had, like 460 yards or whatever he had.
What did that tight end have? Is it, what's his name?
Kyle Pitts. He had 4 touchdowns.
No big deal.
What's his name?
79.0 quarterback rating.
It's funny, the numbers, like I told people, they don't do it justice.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good performance. It's not a check mark performance.
Yeah.
It's a minus performance for Gardner Minshew and 2 critical, the 1 critical turnover.
Yeah.
And really, I think it says a lot they didn't throw a touchdown pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, throw touchdown or run for touchdowns as well. You got to do something. No, turn the music off.
Yeah, no, music's good.
No, wait, one more player to go.
No, this is fine. Go ahead. I can't wait. Let's talk for 5 minutes about Kyler Murray.
All right, guys, so check this out.
What did he do?
Hey, and then let's keep in mind now, you're facing a Matt Patricia-style defense who was coming. They had to fight for this win, okay?
Yeah. They were desperate.
Hot seat, Charlie, Matt Patricia, like he was on the hot seat like you wouldn't believe. Kyler Murray, 23 for 35, 65.71%. I'm not mad at that. 270 yards, second best game in terms of that. 2 touchdowns. Now, yes, 2 interceptions, but keep this in mind, though. Keep this in mind. 1 rushing touchdown as well. Kept them in the game pretty much the whole time. Man, you know, usually we give out check marks. I give him 2 check marks. Can't give him 2 check marks there. Let's give him 1 check mark. All right, but Kyler, you got to be better. A lot of fantasy points. 1 check mark it is for Kyler Murray this week. But let's be honest, you got to be better. Matt Patricia, probably the game of his life, by the way. Called a great defensive game on Kyler Murray. Jeff Okudah showing like he's a first-round pick. Probably one of the best cornerbacks right now of all time, and Jeff Okudah as well.
Yeah.
Really got to that Kyler Murray interception.
It was a buzzsaw, no doubt about it.
It was a buzzsaw, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Tremendous stuff.
So check then. Just 1 check this time, Brett.
Yeah,
just 1
right.
check.
Check equals my. What are you? You're on the curvature scale here?
We're on 1 check. Someone's got to get a check mark to be
Nobody checks.
Okay.
Bad week. Bad week for third-year quarterbacks, too, because Lamar Jackson was worse than all of them.
You better believe it.
Hey, we got an hour to go. We talk more football, a little Major League Baseball, too. Get ready for the playoffs and maybe even sneak in a little NBA Finals chatter. It's all on the way. Plus, why the bubble worked and still works. Next on ESPN 690.
Hey, boss. Guess who I saw at the grocery store today?
I don't know. Elvis?
No, I saw your mom.
Ah, she doing good today?
Yeah, she's great. Said to say hello. Oh, and to thank you again for the Safe Touch security system you got her.
Ah, Safe Touch. The source of all my internal conflict.
Huh?
See, on one hand, as a cook, I hate Safe Touch security. But as a son, I love Safe Touch because they help protect my ma.
Yeah, she loves having the medical and panic buttons. Oh, and the two-way communicator's been great. She says Safe Touch makes her feel safe.
And so my personal tug-of-war continues. I hate Safe Touch. I love Safe Touch.
Well, love 'em or hate 'em, we still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. Unless it's Mom's house.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The summer shower of savings now held over.
Buying fine jewelry has never been better.
Right now at Beard's Diamonds, get 5 years, 0 interest, plus no money down on any purchase.
This is the best deal of the summer.
Take advantage of Beard's lowest prices in North Florida on diamonds, from engagement rings to necklaces. Then spread your payments out over 60 months. That's 5 years with no interest, not a dime.
How about a $6,000 Takori or variety ring? You pay just $100 a month. Or a pair of diamond studs for $3,000? You pay just $50 a month.
Hurry! It's the last time you'll get 5 years, 0 interest this year.
Get her that designer setting she's been dreaming about and spread your payments out over 60 months.
Now's your time to get out of the doghouse and save thousands. 0 interest for 5 years.
Beard's Diamonds, located at the St. John's Town Center.
Come in, see the difference. Save thousands.
It's a busy time right now as the kids head back to school. COVID-19 is still lingering, and flu season is right around the corner. Clean air and home comfort have never been more important. Clean air equals healthier air. Your friends at Bold City Heating and Air offer duct sanitation and air purification, meaning not only will your Bold City Heating and Air be chilly cold, but also free of any microbacteria or nasty viruses that may try to make your home their home. Never fear what you can't see again. For only $499, a Bold City Heating and Air sanitation and purification package will give you peace of mind knowing your family is breathing fresh, clean air. Let the team at Bold City Heating and Air take care of your air and comfort. Be bold with COVID and flu season and sanitize your ducts for only $499. Simply with a call to Bold City Heating and Air at 904-379-1648. That's 904-379-1648. Or visit BoldCityAC.com. Bold City Heating and Air. Be bold and stay cold.
This message is brought to you by Community First Credit Union.
Here's an idea. Let's make some plans. Plans to do all the things we've been wanting to do. Plans for people to see and places to go and stuff that needs to get done. And let's put those plans on solid financial ground. All of us at Community First are here to help with checking and savings accounts, auto loans and mortgages, credit cards, online banking, and business services. With 19 locations around Jacksonville, from Lakewood to Bay Meadows, from Arlington to Neptune Beach. So if you have questions about your family or business finances, we have answers. Answers that can work for you and everyone in Jacksonville.
To get started, text ANSWERS to 797979 or visit communityfirstfl.org to schedule an appointment. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Starting route. Your destination is 0.1 miles away.
If you drive less than
500 feet, turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
If you drive less than 25 miles a day, you could be paying less every day with pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate. You get the same reliable coverage and hands-on expertise you'd expect from Allstate, but now at a price that's tailored to the miles you drive.
Call your local Allstate agent and start paying what's right for you. Pricing varies based on how you buy, driving behaviors, and includes a daily rate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Not applicable in California. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jack's Dream 18 and make it your home course as well. The Golf Club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play. And the Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the Golf Club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
WFOX Fox 30 has been removed from the service of Dish Network after the satellite provider refused to agree to a fair deal for a new retransmission consent agreement with Cox Media Group. If you're affected by this decision, to deprive you of important local news and to watch your favorite teams at the start of football season, then make your voice heard. Call Dish today at 1-800-333-3474 and demand they put Fox 30 back on Dish.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Bob, being the basketball historian that you are, you know more about basketball than all of us. Who would you compare Jason Tatum to?
A poor man's Kevin Durant.
Stugotz is dancing around the studio. Poor man's Kevin Durant. It means not Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, though.
Means not Kevin Durant.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
They all wear these tracing bracelets, as we know, so the league is also looking at those right now in terms of who these people were interacting with the Tennessee organization, and also in Minnesota when they were there on Sunday. Now, the good news for Minnesota at this point right now is they did test negative for COVID-19. There were no positive tests. That test was taken yesterday, right? So they get the results today. They were tested again today, so we'll know more tomorrow. So they're not out of the clear just yet, or in the clear just yet. But good news so far for Minnesota, but they were told that they also need to leave the facility. So right now they're being smart and safe, the league making sure they're being conservative here so this doesn't continue to become a bigger problem.
That's Diana Rossini from ESPN on the Titans situation. Obviously a mini outbreak for the Titans. I don't know what classifies an outbreak. To me, like, even 3 to 8 people don't necessarily feel like an outbreak, but I think it would be probably in this situation classified as an outbreak. And the Titans played Minnesota, so that's the Minnesota tie. The NFL is saying now that the Titans cannot come back into the building until Saturday. So they have to do everything virtually, everything outside the building, and then they play a game on Sunday. And the plan is still to play the game on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So where does this go from here? We'll see how it impacts Minnesota, how it impacts the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game on Sunday, how it impacts potential scheduling. But from the outside looking in, it's kind of like the NFL's like, hey, Tennessee, this is your problem to deal with. Mm-hmm. It ain't our problem. It's your problem. And I kind of feel that way?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it comes across to me. But at the same time, like, it's Tennessee's problem, okay. But let's be honest here. We're all under the same umbrella right now in terms of the NFL, right? Like, every team's under the same umbrella. So this is probably going to happen again. So it's good to get it out of the way right now and say, okay, if it's happened, how do we proceed now? What is the plan? So if this does happen again, we can attack this even sooner.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I think this will be a story that continues to develop. Obviously, from the NFL standpoint, because there's no official word they'll still play the game, but they're leaning that way as the report from Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
And I think the other side of it is, how does Pittsburgh feel about playing the game, and what does the testing look like over the next few days? Keep in mind, the NFL is testing on a daily basis. So there's a comfort level with the testing process that has gone on. And it took until this time. So it's 2 months into it from a camp and game standpoint to get to like this situation where you have multiple players on a team and staff members. This is the biggest outbreak we've seen. Players have been on the COVID-19 list. Players have had COVID-19, but it's been pretty small. It's been isolated, and that player goes on the list and quarantines and all the rest of the stuff. So this is the first situation of its kind that the NFL has had to deal with. While we've seen other sports have to deal with it really for the last handful of months. And speaking of that, Stanley Cup champs are the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
Good for the Lightning, good for the fans here in Florida. I know there's a lot of Tampa Lightning fans, just because why would you be a Florida Panthers fan? Because I don't even know they exist still. And secondly, there's not a lot of other teams to root for. So it's like, okay, if you're a Lightning fan.
Yeah, well, because the Thrashers are gone. And so in terms of hockey, you got the Lightning.
I mean, really, where's the next closest one? Is it Carolina? Yeah, it would be. Carolina's closer to Nashville.
Yeah, okay.
And you can't like anything in Nashville. Not allowed here.
So it's how the Predators. I agree with that.
So I would say, yeah, and again, like I said, I don't know if there are Florida Panther fans in South Florida.
Never met one. I'll be honest with you. I've never met a Florida Panther fan. I've met some Tampa Bay Lightning fans.
Yeah.
Never met a Florida Panther fan.
I know a lot of Lightning fans.
Yeah.
So the story there is, hey, great for the Lightning. But the bigger story to me is the bubble worked. They finished the season. Mm-hmm. That was the whole intent. I think we have to take people back to the conversations of months ago. What are they going to do? Will they get to the finish line? How important it is to get to the finish line? Will these bubbles be effective? Well, the NBA has gotten more attention than the NHL bubble, but they proved that it was effective. I mean, the NBA bubble was effective to get to this point, and in the next 2 weeks, we'll have an NBA champion crowned. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, is it as clear as day the bubbles worked? Like, really not a lot of negative impact from having the bubbles in these two sports.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm going to say again. It didn't work because the Lightning won, but it is what it is. Congrats to all you tens of Lightning's fans out there. I can't wait to see the parade. Social distance, everybody. Did it work, though? It did work, right? Because we didn't have, like, listen, for this to work, there can't be any like negative publicity or any kind of like panic that comes from it, right? And as far as I know, and I watched a lot of the NHL playoffs, I didn't see any kind of panic. I didn't see any kind of team come down with COVID-19 where it's like, oh, well, now what do we do? Like, there was never that question of what do we do? Like, everything just went as smooth as possible, at least from what we saw. Now, maybe behind the scenes, there was chaos, but the way they presented it, it was smooth sailing. So I think the bubble did work. I think in the NBA, even though you had guys go to hot wing joints, or it wasn't even a hot wing joint, it was more of a gentleman's club with a hot wing kitchen. Even though you had that going on, like, for the most part, I think it's still coming off as, you know, some pretty great content. So the bubbles are working right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because the NBA bubble is going to finish up, obviously, with the NBA Finals. That's a week and a half away, probably. And Major League Baseball has kind of bubbled themselves off to a degree. They're more pods than bubbles.
Yeah.
The way they're running their playoffs.
And they had some blowback. Miami Marlins obviously had theirs. St. Louis Cardinals had their stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was not in bubble fashion. So
Correct.
At the time when that was happening, especially the Marlins, which, fantastic story, really, that it started a season where it looked like they had derailed the Major League Baseball season potentially. Yeah. And now they're in the postseason.
Well, welcome to the playoffs, everybody. Yeah. Who figured that?
So, and seemingly way ahead of schedule, too, for Derek Jeter's team and Don Mattingly's team. I mean, you can't even name three Marlins.
Yeah.
So, unless you've seen them play right here for the Jumbo Shrimp.
There you go.
But the bubble concept obviously has proven to work. The question I have about I don't know if the pod concept is going to work as well, or if it was longer term would work as well. It certainly minimizes things, I would think, kind of like the bubble does. And my next curiosity is, as we move ahead in 2021 with sports, NBA again, can they bubble for a whole length of a season? Mm-hmm. Will they be willing to do that? NHL again when that fires up. And the calendars will still be worked out, in my opinion, when that will happen. And I think specifically maybe to like college basketball. How are they going to get the pie at the end of it, to get that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which is March Madness? What lengths will like college basketball take to get to that pot of gold, given the fact that this worked in the NBA, NHL? Keep in mind, colleges don't have the dollars. You can't do it as such a broad scale.
There's students as well.
Yeah, and you have this exterior force, which is just students on campus and classes and all these other things. But how they might try to make it work will be interesting. The specifics are not out. It looks like we're going to have a college basketball season. Basically, they're saying we will find a way to have a college basketball season. But specifically, how they do it. If these pods work in Major League Baseball, that's another blueprint that maybe college basketball could use, because that's more realistic. Could you pod certain conferences? I mean, you could make a pod out of a conference here in say the ASUN or the ACC or in different regions of the country. So I think they're keeping a close eye even on how Major League Baseball runs this playoff.
So I think in terms of the NCAA, like, let's not mistake ourselves here. They're going to have a tournament this year. Like, they absolutely have to have a tournament. Like, in order to save college basketball, that tournament in March is going to happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah, so it might be Drexel versus Liberty, but in the national championship
it's
game.
Already a foregone conclusion. I think and listen, I understand, the whole student-athlete thing, they have to be a class, okay? They got to get the class. But you can do that online. There's other ways to make sure your studies are getting taken care of. So with that being said, I think what's going to happen with the NCAA in terms of the basketball tournament is kind of like the NHL did, where there's going to be, the NHL had 2 cities, right, in Canada. East was on one side, West was on another side. I think with the NCAA tournament, you have 4 cities, and it's like one giant bubble, right? And so you have 4 cities, divide those teams up with, the 64 or whatever, and then you go from there. And then as you progress, as you get farther in the tournament, then that team from one bubble can go to another bubble. Like, I don't see them switching towns all the time. Like, I see 4 centralized locations, bubbles, if you will, and you have to go by proximity in terms of, and then as you narrow down the field, then you just go to one of those bubbles for the championship.
Yeah, I just think, we know what's going to happen. What it looks like, how it's executed, I think is still the mystery. I think I saw a report today, I think it was the ACC, maybe it was the Big Ten, that they were going a conference slate of like 22 games, and then they said, wow, they're pretty unanimous now. It's going to be a 20-game. So all these things are being worked out. It's not really the 11th hour yet for college basketball, but I do think now this blueprint of the bubbles at work for anything going forward, especially in the early part of 2021, because I think this is still lingering into the early part of 2021. I don't see any major changes happening. You agree with that?
I agree with that.
So they're going to take these blueprints of what NHL and NBA and now even Major League Baseball, because it's a little bit different, are doing. And, listen, the NFL so far has worked. College football so far it's been a mixed bag. It just depends. It's hard to say it's worked. Yeah. There's been a lot of cancellation of games, but they are still playing. They haven't canceled the season, so it has worked to some degree.
And I think in terms of the regular season, listen, you kind of have to do a little hoping and praying here, right? Because you're not going to quarantine the team for the regular season. At least I don't think. So, you got to put trust on them and say you make the right decisions. You don't go to those parties. You just do what you're supposed to do, and you play the game of basketball, just like in football. But then I think the biggest change from what we're accustomed to seeing is obviously when you go through those conference championships, or when you make your selections of who's going to the tournament. Well, now it's got to be like, all right, we know who's going to the tournament. Now we have to quarantine for 3 or 4 weeks until everyone is sure that they don't have COVID, because when we go to the bubbles, then we can't have the outbreak happen. So usually when we're accustomed to watching that selection show, next couple of days, the tournament starts, I think there's going to be a delay now between that selection show, players getting quarantined, and then that bubble, and all of those things like that.
Yeah, fascinating sports landscape continues. And with that, we have the most expanded playoff in Major League Baseball we've ever had. And I wonder if we're also wondering on this, and we said this back before sports fired back up. We had so many conversations about it. And I like kind of going back and seeing the conversation and seeing where we're at now, because quite frankly, a lot of people didn't think we'd get to this point where we saw the end of seasons and we see the start of football. And I always had hope that we would, but even that came into question maybe by mid-July. But I think one of the things that we brought up, and maybe the most fascinating part of this whole pandemic as it relates to sports, is what changes that are made because of the pandemic. get carried into the future. And I wonder with Major League Baseball, because they have some specific ones. They have some interesting ones. They had the 10th inning, put the runner on second to determine or break the ties or, so the games don't go as long. Will that stick in the regular season like it did this year long term? I think it might. What about the DH in both leagues? I think there's a lot of people believe, I think it might stick. This was a trial on a 60-game season, but I think it's going to stick. What about the expanded playoffs? Will that stick? Well, we're about to see if it's going to work, but I think there's excitement now in more Major League Baseball cities here today than there have been usually today because they're in the postseason. So my guess is it's going to stick.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You're right?
Well, yeah, obviously, if they didn't have that rule in place, I'm complaining because the Brewers didn't make it.
But the
Brewers
beauty,
are in right now.
Just as much as the beauty of Major League, of your Brewers, say, getting in or the Cardinals getting in or was the fact that I think it was Saturday night leading into the Sunday games, there were like 44 different scenarios of who could get in, who could play who. That's fun.
Yeah.
Right? We like that stuff.
Chaos. Yep.
Yeah, we like the chaos of that. We like the fact that we can't figure it out, but we need a computer to kind of figure it out. Show us the model because my brain hurts looking at it.
It's why we tune into the last week of the NFL season so closely, right? Because usually if a team wins, then you have to hope another team loses and all that stuff to make the playoffs. Like the last week of an NFL season, it's usually pretty exciting.
Yeah. So that being said, what do you think we have a bunch of 3-game series. Do you think we see a bunch of upsets in Major League Baseball, at least in terms of seeding? See, the Yankees were built to be very good.
Yeah.
But the Yankees struggled because half their team was out and on injured reserve. Well, now they're back, and a lot of them back, and now they're strong again. So if the Yankees are going to go plow through some people, not sure how much of an upset that is.
Yeah.
But I do think, given the nature of this 60-game season, you could see a bunch of 6 seeds beat 3 seeds and 5s over 4s, and the 1s get bounced early. It might feel more like a hockey playoff.
Yeah, you're not lying right now, right? As I'm watching the Chicago White Sox beat that Oakland Athletics 3-0 in the 8th,
And that's a what? That's a 2-7?
I believe so.
I think so, right?
Yeah. So, and then Astros Twins right now is tied up 1-1. I think you could see some upsets, right? Because usually when it's a best-of-3 series, it would favor the home team, right? Because, and now listen, I know there's an advantage to some ballparks. Some ballparks are hitter-friendly. Some ballparks are more pitcher-friendly, right? And sometimes the teams tailor their rosters to that. So there's always an advantage there depending where you play. But you take the crowd out of it now, and you take the atmosphere, because let's be honest, man, there's playoff crowds, Brennan, playoff atmospheres are a lot different for baseball than they are during the regular season.
No doubt.
It's night and day. It is absolutely night and day. And now you take that away, I think you take away that advantage. So that could give a team that's not accustomed to, being the home team for 2 games in the series, doesn't really matter now. So I think you will see some upsets.
Well, you said something that's really interesting, and I kind of big picture this. Like sometime on the show down the road or whatever, we'll say, hey, what did we take from the pandemic? And I think one of the things that I was thinking of this in the last day or so is one of the things I'm going to take from the pandemic is we do need fans. Like I think Colin Morikawa hit unbelievable shots down the stretch because he really didn't get juiced up like you normally would with 50,000 people there at the PGA Championship. Now, he might have still pulled them off, but I think the feeling is so different. Did Green Bay win that game over New Orleans the other day because the Superdome is empty and not loud? Maybe. Did Mississippi State go into Baton Rouge because Baton Rouge isn't all lit up, gassed up, liquored up after celebrating a national championship, and you don't have those folks with you?
That's a good point.
I think the NHL playoffs were weird to watch, especially the Stanley Cup Finals, where you can really feel everything heighten. So I noticed it there. And I think baseball, I'm going to really notice it. One of the cool things about baseball in the playoffs is, you're right, it's totally different.
So different.
Every pitch you feel that, especially if it's your team's in it. Like my team wouldn't be in it anyway this year. But if your team's in it, every pitch feels, it's like, oh my gosh, this could be the moment. This could be the moment it changes. This could be the moment the game swings. This could be the moment we win or lose. You feel it in the postseason, and a lot of that's because the fans are into it more so than ever. So I think we're going to feel that here. And I'll tell you where else I felt it. Last night's game. That place would have been on fire for the Ravens-Chiefs.
Oh, come on.
And you think it would have helped the Ravens? I think absolutely it would have helped the Ravens.
Yeah.
So I just because of the enormity of that game, because of the enormity of Mahomes and Jackson, I think you would have felt that coming out of Baltimore all the way to Jacksonville, not just on your TV screen.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's one of the big things. We do need fans. Now, you can play them without. But it does change the landscape and the feel and the intensity and probably to a degree performance at times.
And to prove, I guess further home your point here a little bit with that crowd being non-existent in Baltimore. I mean, one of the very first things I said with the season is like, I wonder how defenses are going to be able to respond at home, right? Because usually at home, I mean, the crowd's yelling, the quarterback can't audible out as easy. You don't know the count. You can't hear the count. There's just so much energy going on. And if you're on defense, man, let's put our ears back and go. Like that energy helps that defense out more than you would ever know. So the fact that we're not seeing a lot of defense being played right now, the fact that the offense seems to be succeeding, it's got to be the correlation. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's got to be the correlation with no crowd being at the games.
All right, let's do a quick, at least to this point, see how we did on our picks. I found them.
Oh, man.
60-game Major League Baseball season. We both picked in the AL East the Yankees to win.
Yeah.
Wrong. Tampa won.
Yeah.
AL Central, I picked the Indians. You picked the Twins. You were right.
You bet. Rocco Baldelli. Hey, I can't go against my guy, Rocco Baldelli, bro. I talk about him all the time on this show.
Back-to-back, his first 2 years as a Major League manager, he wins the AL Central.
Yep.
And a competitive Central, too, with the Indians in Chicago. AL West, oof. I picked the Angels. They didn't even make the playoffs. You picked Oakland.
I picked Oakland, man. Yeah, I'll take that.
Wild card. Oh, wait a minute.
Remember, because we picked one wild. Yeah, so this is where it kind of.
Yeah, we screwed this up.
Because we didn't take into account the extra playoff spots.
At the time when we did it.
Yeah. But we can still go with it.
Well, yeah, we still can go with it. But, actually, we picked two wild cards because that normally was what gets in.
Correct.
So I picked White Sox and Astros, so I got both in. You got the Rays and the Twins. You got both in.
Both in.
All right. In the National League, who the heck picked the Nats? You picked the Nats.
Picked the Nats. You hate to see it.
Because I knew I picked Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then the Central, you picked the Cubs.
I did.
Reluctantly.
I know.
I picked the Reds.
Yeah.
So you win.
I win. The whole Reds conversation.
Yeah,
I said, hey, why are the Reds great until they got to be great?
And in the West, we both picked the Dodgers because you had to, and that was easy enough. So here's what's interesting. You had the Phillies and Reds making the playoffs. Phillies just got bounced on the last day, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I had the Phillies and Cardinals.
Yeah. Wait, I had the Brewers in there, man. Someplace. I had the Brewers going to the pennant.
No, you didn't.
I definitely did. We'll have to go back. I would pick the Cubs over the Brewers? What am I? On CBD times 100?
You can check, but July 24th is the show.
Okay, I'll check. There's no way I did not pick the Brewers because I had the Brewers facing the Dodgers in the pennant. And then I had the other side. It was who did I have?
I don't know. You're on a lot of different radio shows sometimes. Maybe you went on somewhere else.
All right, man. I can't wait to listen to this. There's no way I picked the Cubs.
You sure that
over
wasn't
the
on the
Brewers.
Bold City Pod or something?
No, it might have been, man. Might have been in the UK podcast. No, I'd guarantee I took the Brewers. But anyways, please keep going.
Well, I have you more right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
We have the Rays versus the Braves and Atlanta wins the World Series. That's me.
Yeah. And who'd I have?
I got a chance there.
Who'd I have?
You had Dodgers and Twins.
Yep.
You got a chance.
I did, yeah.
We ended up also picking MVPs.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Trout and Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
And you picked Trout and Acuna. And I picked Baez and Lindor.
Mm-hmm.
Cy Young's Garrett Cole and Walker Buehler you picked. And I picked Clevenger and Nola. I was on a roll from Clevenger until he went out and had to go party a little bit.
I was picking guys that had good immune systems. I was trying to focus on that.
Yeah, we should have gone back after the 8 teams. But how are you going to pick 8 teams in the playoffs, right? So we could have picked 3 more wild card teams. Bottom line, though, is you did better. AL Central you got right. AL West you got right.
I didn't get that in AL Central. I'm telling you I didn't pick the Cubs. So
I think you did pick the Cubs. You didn't pick them to win. You got to pick the Cubs to win.
How did I not pick the Brewers? Come on. I guarantee I brought up how Craig Counsell was going to push all the right buttons in a shortened season, and Christian Yelich coming back, Josh Hader, the best weapon in all of baseball. I guarantee I
hope you picked the
Brewers
because then you'd be wrong.
Give me the date again, and I'll find it.
July 24th.
All right. Oh, we'll find it during a break here.
So there's a very good chance I kept the records of this and screwed it up.
Yep.
That's why we don't keep the records.
That's where we're at. Yep.
Overall, I think we did halfway decent.
I'm not mad
But,
at it.
I mean, you almost had to do really you had to be miserable not to get a playoff team, and I picked the Angels, and they didn't make it.
For sure.
Well, we both picked the Phillies, so we screwed that up, and you picked the Nats.
Yeah.
So we actually were miserable on a couple
those
of
Nats,
occasions.
man, they're going to get you every single time.
I mean, you could be like under 500 and make the playoffs here, easy.
Yeah.
And
but you know what? The whole are the Reds in the Reds are in the playoffs.
Yeah,
aren't
they get in there.
They snuck in there.
They could be dangerous in there.
Yeah,
That's what's interesting. Like the
here we
Yankees,
go.
right? The
Here we
Yankees
go.
could be dangerous.
Yeah. The whole Reds could be the team of the beat in the NL Central. I mean, they got the hitting and they got
you know
barely
what?
squeaked by.
I actually thought the Reds. I thought they might be a shade overrated going into the season.
Had them winning the division though.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wonder. That's why I wonder if you had the Reds winning or if I did.
I did not have the Reds winning. I distinctly remember saying after Lizzo, why the Reds great until they got to be great. I remember that.
Next time when I do this, I probably should put next to each pick Brent or Austin.
So what do we learn about this? Let Kuz do this from now on, because obviously you can't handle it.
Oh, you think he did it bad?
Just
don't
put me
I
down
would
for
do
the
it way
Cubs.
worse.
The thing that I got wrong about the Reds, I was like, I think they're going to be pretty good. I like their lineup. I think they're okay. They have some depth pitching, but I think I remember saying Bauer's not going to have as good a year as everybody says he is.
I think he did say that.
He's going to win the Cy Young.
Hey, has anybody taken more L's than Brett Martin right now saying Bauer's not going to have a good season, saying the Miami Heat are the most overrated team in the bubble? We'll see you guys in the finals.
I think I picked the Lightning to win the Stanley Cup
There
Finals.
we go. Now he's back.
We did that one off air.
Now he's back.
Hey, well, speaking of the finals, get ready for that.
Yeah.
Lakers. Is there any way the Heat can win this? Come on, let's be real. How much does the NBA have to fix it for this to be close?
At least a 6-game series.
It doesn't even matter.
Why is that?
Because the NBA wants to see, everybody kind of wants to see LeBron.
That's true.
I understand there's some LeBron haters, there's Laker haters.
Yeah.
But I would say not too many. The majority wants to see the Lakers win the NBA Finals.
You know what? And I can't believe I'm saying it, but I want to see it. I want to see him win for Kobe.
Yeah, a little bit more on that coming up on ESPN 690. We have a segment to go. By the way, baseball scores. White Sox up 4-0 now on the A's in the 8th. 1-1 Houston, Minnesota. Toronto, Tampa getting going. And then Yankees in Cleveland later tonight. There's like 8 games tomorrow. So should be a lot of fun the next couple of days if you do like baseball. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Scattered showers and storms into this evening. Some clearing later tonight as temperatures drop into the 60s. It'll be cooler and much less humid for Wednesday. We'll gradually break out into some sunshine. Highs only in the upper 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jack's Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Hurry! It's the last time you'll get 5 years, 0 interest this year. Are you ready for a new ride? Then your wait is over. It's the Today's the Day sales event, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota. Today's the day for you to drive away from Arlington one really happy customer in your brand new Toyota. That's because you'll get 0% for 60 months on all new 2020 Camrys, Corollas, and RAV4s. 0%. How about getting a new Toyota Plus, no payments for 90 days? Today's the day because that's exactly what you'll get at Arlington. And did I mention 2 years of free maintenance? Yes. Today's the day you get your new Toyota at Arlington plus 2 years of free maintenance. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Today is most definitely the day to get the Toyota you really want at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com. Today is the day for full details.
Donato's Pizza is proud to support the Florida State Seminoles. When it comes to pizza for game time, we can suit any taste. From 100 pepperonis on a large loaded edge-to-edge on smoked provolone and Romano, to our delicious and healthy cauliflower crust tomato bruschetta with plant-based sausage, to mariachi chicken, to the founder's favorite, and more. We offer a convenient pickup window or prompt delivery. Just give Donato's a try. That's all we ask. Order at 904donatos.com or call 904 Donatos on your phone.
Join ESPN 690 in Shopping the 904. When you help businesses here on the First Coast, you're really helping all of us. And it keeps our local economy going. That means jobs. 2020 has been a really tough year, especially for locally owned businesses. And you can make a difference when you shop local. So if you live in St. John's, Duval, Baker, Clay, Nassau, or other surrounding counties, shop local. Shop the 904.
Shop the 904.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
Come to the grand opening of Q Delicia, the best Mexican-American sports bar in town. Enjoy ice-cold beer, $10 sangria pitchers, along with the best quesadillas and fajitas in town while watching the game. If you can't go, at least you can watch. But don't be surprised if you hear, "Goal!" You can watch football, NFL, NBA, MLB, boxing, UFC, and more on multiple HD TVs. Visit Q Delicia for the grand opening on 3980 Southside Boulevard today. Q Delicia, the Mexican-American sports bar you never knew you needed. Call 904-253-3477.
Internal Revenue Service. When you owe a personal or business tax debt and can't pay, just hearing those 3 words brings feelings of fear and anxiety. I'm Jonathan David Suryash, Managing Tax Attorney at J. David Tax Law. Everyone knows that if you owe the IRS and don't pay, it's only a matter of time before tax liens, wage garnishments, or bank levies happen to you. The first step to resolution is our no-cost consultation. We take the time to go through your specific tax problem step by step. We explain exactly what your options are and how we will resolve your tax issue. J. David Tax Law is a local firm right here in Jacksonville, where only an experienced tax attorney will represent you. Our fee payment plans are affordable for everyone. If you have tax problems, call us now for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777, or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. That's jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
End of summer savings have been extended.
No other jeweler in North Florida can beat Beard's Diamonds. They have the largest selection and the lowest prices. And now with their 5-year zero-interest financing, you can go even bigger.
Yes, save on everything. Rings, earrings, bracelets, pendants, wedding bands, all designer jewelry, all colored gemstone pieces, and all diamonds. It'll be your last chance to take advantage of 5 years zero interest in 2020.
It's a great time to splurge on that $12,000 3-stone ring and pay just $200 a month.
Impress her with a bigger diamond engagement ring, a $6,000 setting from just $100 a month.
Or how about $3,000 diamond stud earrings, only $50 a month.
Get the absolute lowest prices Beards is known for. 5 years, zero interest is about to end, so hurry.
Beards Diamonds, located at the St. John's Town Center.
Come in, see the difference, save thousands.
Back to school also means back to Friday night football. Get to the game in style in a new Honda from Honda of the Avenues. Their incredible summer clearance event is going on now to make room for the new 2021 models. Find great deals and haul the whole team in a new Odyssey, Pilot, or CRV. Plus, Hondas are safe and reliable, just what you and your team need. Don't miss kickoff. Stop by the Honda Giant on Phillips Highway just a few yards south of the Avenues to see all their inventory, or start looking right now at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jack's Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jackscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
There's a new, modern, patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care and patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge.
We're in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. Congratulations go out to the Tampa Bay Lightning for bringing the Stanley Cup to Florida by finishing off the Dallas Stars in 6 games with a final score of 2-0. With the Rays in the MLB Playoffs and the Heat in the NBA Finals, Florida could be flush with hardware soon. Last night on Monday Night Football, the defending champs faced last year's MVP, and the Chiefs got the better of the Ravens 34-20. Lamar Jackson looked less than MVP-like with a total of 180 yards rushing and passing. Chiefs D lineman Frank Clark on how they contain
You got to be patient. It's a patient game. For a player that's so fast and so, so explosive and he makes so many plays and he can make plays throwing the ball or running the ball. But you got to play a patient game. And, I can't give away too many other secrets, but, because we got to play this man for the next, few years down the road.
And in Jags roster moves, they have dropped defensive lineman Timmy Jernigan and signed veteran kicker Steven Hauschka. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker play ESPN 690.
If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, but your boss has you working from home this week, well, take us with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. Tell Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy all that sweet listening coverage.
Brent Martineau.
Well, listen, if we wanted to just bump WWE by like a half hour or a few minutes, we should have just rolled your highlight tape.
Austin Lane.
Oh! And there it is. And now Brent's playing ball. All of a sudden, Chapman throwing some high heat at me. Watch out for that suspension, Brent. Real quick, though.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
A really good team. That's it. A really good team. Not going to say that we're any better than anybody else, but I just don't think that we're underdogs. I don't. So what that nobody picked us to be here? That's okay. Pretty sure nobody's picking us to win either. That's okay. But we understand that. We embrace that because at the end of the day, we truly don't care. We're just going to go out here and compete, play together like we always had, and see where we end up. But at the end of the day, we're going to do this our way, Miami Heat way, and that way's worked for us all year long.
Ooh, I thought I knew who it was, but now I'm not quite. Is it a Jacksonville Jaguar?
No.
Chris Conley. Dang it.
Is it? No.
Oh, it's way off.
Basketball.
Jimmy Butler.
Allen Robinson?
Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
Jimmy
okay.
Butler. My gosh, I'm 2 for 2.
That's insane. Well, Coos told you probably in the headset.
He did not tell me anything.
By the way, real quick before we get into basketball talk, what do you have against Trevor Bauer? You laid into him.
Did I?
Yeah, during our, I
kind of like him,
He's got
actually.
a big mouth, apparently.
He does have a big mouth.
Okay.
He would say that.
Okay.
So, anyway, you picked the Brewers. I wrote it down
you
wrong.
wrote it down wrong.
But I picked the Cubs.
Yeah.
So I got it right.
Yeah, so you won that one. There's so much gold in there, though, because there's one point we were talking about saying, hey, who did you pick last year? We're like, I don't know. And you're like, oh, I'd probably screwed it up anyways, writing it down. It's not a big deal. So, like, we're going to go back to last year's picks, and you're like, I probably screwed it up. Don't worry about it.
And didn't even make it 3 months.
Yeah.
This was a short season.
So I didn't think you won the picks then, right? You had more picks right than I did? I mean, I don't, depending how you want to look at it.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Hey, you know what? We both had fun.
After
and that's
all,
the most important
let's just
part.
see if anybody gets the winners of the
Yeah,
World
the
Series.
World Series. I like that.
Because this was more fun picks. This wasn't like a true bet. Now, I
Sure.
did win the Judge versus Stanton.
with how many? How many did Judge have at the end of the season?
That's a good question. How many did he finish with? I think I won it. I don't know. I haven't checked the home run rates in a long time. Here we go. Luke Voigt, by the way, we should have picked him. The Yankee 22.
The old Voiter, as they call him.
For Luke Voigt to get 22 home runs in a 60-game season.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So Aaron Judge had 9 home runs.
Stanton had what? 5?
Well,
6.
let me ask you this question. Do you feel good with 9 home runs? Do you feel good with that? Do you feel like you won with 9 home runs?
As long as it's greater than 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 for Stanton.
Oh, please hold. Oh, it's a mean-looking picture, too. Did Stanton even play this? 4 home runs. 4. 4. A landslide victory
How
for Aaron
about
Judge.
Stanton, though? Like, Stanton, they're paying him some crazy amount of money.
Oh, I know.
And so you're going to go back in Stanton's career, right, and say you don't know, like, there's an asterisk with the pandemic. Be like, my gosh, they paid him $35 million to hit 4 home runs?
Yeah. Well, hey, keep an eye now, okay? So he improved off last season's numbers. He had 4 this year. He had 3 last year.
3. So he missed that much time last year. Missed the whole season, basically.
Only playing 18 games last season, playing 23 games this season.
So they, and again, the pay scale this year, I think, is off because they didn't get their entire salary.
Okay.
But think about how much they've paid Stanton the last 2 years. And he's hit 7 home runs.
So that's
the
a lot
year
of money
prior,
per
he hit
home run.
what, like 55 or something?
The year prior, he was an MVP, and he hit, 1 second, please, 38.
Is that it?
He was MVP?
He might have. There it says MVP. Does it say a number next to MVP?
19.
So he's 19th in the MVP voting.
Oh. What? Like, I care about who's 19th in the MVP voting.
I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
Yeah, he must have nailed that then. But then 2017, he hit 59 home runs.
59.
And it says MVP 1.
So he did win the MVP in 17.
17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had 59 home runs.
Yeah.
So he's had 4 years with the Yankees? Is that it? Or does it go back a year prior to that?
He won the MVP with the Marlins.
Oh, that was a Marlins season. He hit 59.
Season. Yeah, and then he must have got paid, right?
No, he had already gotten paid by the Marlins, and they traded the contract.
Yeah, so 17 was Marlins, and 18, 19, 20 had been the Yankees.
Okay. So really,
Regression.
the Yankees in 3 years, whatever they've paid him, which is some astronomical number, have received 45 home runs.
41.
38 plus 3 plus 4.
No, I'm sorry, 34 plus 3 plus 7. I'm tripping. All right, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
45 home runs
You
for
got it.
$1 gazillion.
Yep.
And a lot of strikeouts.
And you don't want to see those numbers.
Houston, by the way, is beating Minnesota now 2-1. Bases are loaded still in the top of the ninth.
Who's pitching for Houston today?
You mean Minnesota?
No, I'm saying who's pitching for Houston.
I don't know.
Verlander's out.
Yeah, Verlander's out. Who started the game? It was Greinke.
Zach Greinke.
He only went 4 innings, too. It's interesting. Valdez has gone 4 innings. Kenny Maeda started for the Twins, and they've had a bunch of
Brewers Dodgers. You like it tomorrow? Hey,
I like it.
I call them playing the pennant. Might as well just play right now and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
What?
Well, listen, if you're the Brewers, this is the best time to get the Dodgers.
You better believe
You got to win 2 games.
Yep. Yeah.
You're just going to win a series, a real series. That's like a baseball series.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's why you're going to see a lot. That's why you have a chance to see a lot of upsets.
Correct.
Like, I don't know how much Houston over Minnesota would be an upset, but it really puts a lot of stress. Like, the White Sox are beating Oakland.
Yeah.
Well, Oakland, that's a significant upset.
Correct.
I know the White Sox have been a good team, but Oakland this year has been really good, and it feels like they're one of the favorites. That, to me, has a significant feel of an upset, and now the pressure is all on the A's because you got to go win 2 in a row. I mean, you play a little tight, and it's over. Mm-hmm. So you just got to get hot for 2 days.
I know,
the
man.
Brewers. Go.
I know.
It's a beautiful thing about baseball, man. The Dodgers' bats go cold for a couple of days, and it's lights out for them.
For sure.
That could happen.
Yep.
Which I don't know if I love that. See, that's why I don't know if
because
it
you don't like the best teams are going to go to the possibly go to the World Series.
I love Cinderella in all the brackets in sports. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
I just don't know if everybody likes that. I think that most people like to see the better teams, and I don't know if Major League Baseball will like that. So if we get a lot of upsets, it could actually deter from having more seasons like this.
Yeah.
Because if you're not putting the teams that are really the better teams, and they get bounced out early just because they lost a 3-game series.
Sure.
Well,
let me ask you this. Last year, World Series, was it good that the Nationals won, or was it bad for baseball?
I didn't.
Because they're a Cinderella story.
Yeah, I didn't take it as bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't take it as bad. Now, they beat the Dodgers, were in it.
Yeah.
So.
But they also crushed them.
But don't kid yourself. The Major League Baseball would rather have the Yankees and Dodgers.
Sure.
And they didn't get that. Mm-hmm. But no doubt they would rather have Yankees-Dodgers.
Okay.
No, so they Nationals couldn't have played the Dodgers. Nationals beat the Dodgers in the NLCS.
Oh, you're right. Then who did the Nationals
beat? Houston.
Hello, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so they crushed the Dodgers.
So they beat Houston.
Yeah,
but you would rather have said no doubt Major League Baseball would have signed up for Yankees-Dodgers instead. I guess that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I don't care about that. Like, I don't care what the ratings look like. I don't care if everybody's into it. I like to see good. That was a fun series to watch. I liked seeing the Nationals.
I'm just talking about just the game of baseball, though, because obviously they're not a household team, the Nationals. I mean, I just don't know if that affected rating. I don't know what the ratings were.
Absolutely, it would affect.
Yeah.
I mean, but Washington's a big place, but I do think. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but my guess is a Houston-Washington World Series generated a far less audience than, no doubt, a Dodgers-Yankees World Series would have done.
Last question, we can move on. What generated less
Listen,
for
I
their
can
sport?
talk baseball all day, so if you want to keep talking.
See, man, I like it. I like this kind of Brett Martin. What generated less in terms of the fans of their sports and in terms of hype? The Raptors winning the championship or the Nationals winning the championship?
Ooh, I think clearly the Raptors
was less hype. Yeah, Canada.
They're from Canada.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know you're going there. Yeah. Hey.
I mean,
it's not hockey. Yeah.
I don't know if I say that with conviction or hope.
Sure.
That I would hope a team from the United States, the Washington Nationals, with all this.
In the capital, the nation's capital.
Yeah. I would hope that did a little bit better from a fanfare standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the other part of that. Most people couldn't name 4 or 5 Toronto Raptors.
Sure.
And the guy that you can name is Kawhi Leonard, and he's boring as heck.
Yeah.
He's the most boring superstar there is in sports, right? I mean, probably hands down.
Yeah.
So, now that being said, I mean, but like the Nationals, Strasburg, and see, Rendon's a good story, but could they name him? You know, they don't have Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
I mean, Soto's a great story and a cool player, and he's coming out party for Soto. So, I mean, I guess now that I'm talking out loud, you could maybe make the similar case for the Nationals as you could for Toronto.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot more fanfare for the NBA than Major League Baseball across the globe.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'm right on that.
Yeah. I think you can make cases for either side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of buzzkill kind of winners, right?
For sure.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I thought you were saying it's a buzzkill kind of question. I'm like, I just asked the question, man. What do you want from me?
No, but if you think about the champions now in sports, the Chiefs are a cool champ.
Cool champ.
Because of Mahomes.
Andy Reid, absolutely. Yeah, cool champ.
And I think the NFL is so big that it almost doesn't matter who wins.
No, I don't think so.
Like, could you have a bad loser? I mean, a bad winner in the NFL?
No, because either way,
when Seattle was winning, that they became cool, even though nobody knew they existed for 20
and
years.
Listen, when the Eagles won and they beat the mighty Patriots, like everyone, I mean, the Eagles are a story.
Philly's a big market.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that they're the ultimate underdog, right? Like, I mean, they're kind of like the Nationals in terms of you had to win the wild card, all that stuff, and you won the whole thing. Like, people celebrate the underdog like that.
Yeah, I
do
agree.
People celebrate the underdog as much with the Nationals beating the Astros? Probably not.
No, I think the NFL's a little bulletproof on this.
Yeah.
But Kansas City is not the biggest market. I mean, that's like market, I think, like it's not even in the top 25.
Mm-hmm.
So from a eyeball standpoint, but Mahomes is now the biggest thing. So it's almost like their market has grown.
Of course.
Right? Because everybody's got a Mahomes jersey, and it doesn't matter. Kind of Seattle did that too, but I think it's more because the NFL is so bulletproof on this. I think if Jacksonville were to win the Super Bowl, their marketability would go so crazy because of Minshew, right? And so it wouldn't matter. Sure, it wasn't the Giants winning. It wasn't the Cowboys winning, but it still wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
A lot of people would be watching. It's the Super Bowl. You don't feel it. Your point about Toronto is a good one. I think your point about the Nationals is a pretty good one too. And so that's basketball, that's baseball. Hockey's kind of off the road map anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Blues winning last year, though, it was cool because the story.
The story was fantastic.
The Gloria, the song.
And St. Louis, a great hockey town.
Yeah, and just keep in mind where they were. They're in last place towards like the All-Star break halfway through the season.
Listen, the stories of last year were incredible.
Correct.
The Nationals winning, the Toronto Raptors winning, the Blues winning, and the Chiefs winning.
Yeah.
The stories were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to ask, would the commissioner rather have the Chicago Blackhawks, the New York Yankees or Dodgers, and the Lakers or Celtics winning in the trophy?
Sure.
They would never admit it, but I think the answer would be probably yes.
Of course. Money.
It's an interesting topic.
Yeah, it's quite the conundrum for you there, huh?
Well, it is. Well, because I don't care about that stuff, but I'm trying to think about what people do care about. Like, people like dynasties. I don't. I'm not a dynasty fan. Like, I like seeing other people win.
Yeah.
And
but you need the dynasty to cheer against sometimes, though, too.
Well, you need that, right? You need a little, like, the Patriots are fun to cheer against.
Yankees
That's
are
fine.
fun
If
to cheer
somebody
against.
beats them, I just don't want them to win again.
Sure.
Yeah, the Yankees are a good team to cheer against. See, I don't even think the Dodgers are that way. They've gone so long without really winning.
Because you feel kind of bad because they haven't won.
Yeah, and they're a pretty likable team, right? They got kind of young guys, and for me, even like Dave Roberts is he's a likable guy.
Yeah.
So baseball doesn't feel that way to me, and even this year, like we were just saying it. In fact, we haven't got to it, but let's end with it because it plays well into the segment.
Yep.
I hated the Lakers growing up. Like, it's Red Sox Yankees.
Yeah.
It's Celtics Lakers.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel that. If I'm being honest with myself, I didn't feel that way about like the Bruins, but at the time it was like Montreal, right? You didn't like them, and so I don't like the Lakers.
I don't like them either.
I'm not a fan of the Lakers at all. I didn't like seeing them win, quite frankly, when Kobe Bryant was winning. I didn't like seeing them when Shaq was winning. I didn't like seeing them when Magic Johnson was winning. I didn't like it.
And I'm in the exact same boat. Now, I wasn't around for Magic Johnson. I've told the story a little bit before, but I was because back when I was a kid, it was either Kobe Bryant or it was Allen Iverson. And you couldn't have it both ways. It was like Apple versus Samsung. And I was an Allen Iverson guy. To echo Kuz's 76ers fan, I'm like, Allen Iverson, to me, he was the blue-collar guy. He was the underdog. He was a short guy that made it work, and obviously his style with all the tattoos. Like, to me, he was kind of like a different type of player. He was like Dennis Rodman in terms of the outlier, but he was the skills of like an MVP. Kobe Bryant was more smooth, flash, finesse, and I was more of the Allen Iverson type. So I couldn't stand the Lakers either.
Yeah, now I'm kind of rooting for him.
Because at the end of the day, as the older I got, the more respect I got for Kobe Bryant. And that's where it came from for me.
I can't lie on this part. I think it's awful, Kobe Bryant. And I actually have, I've seen the stories of Kobe Bryant and learned so much more about Kobe Bryant and become so much bigger of a fan of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, since his passing.
Yeah.
But while he was playing, I wasn't like this uber Kobe. You can't lie to you and say I was. I understand a whole generation is, which is really cool, and I've got more of an appreciation for that now. And so I do think for Kobe Bryant and his daughter and everybody who perished in that helicopter crash, and that's how this year started, and to see the Lakers now have a chance to win. I'm a sucker for storylines too, and it's an unbelievable storyline. But I will say I probably am more rooting for the Lakers in this sense because I'm a big LeBron fan from a basketball standpoint. And even though he is wearing that jersey, I think he is one of the greatest of all time. And I think this helps his legacy. I think he has to win this title. So I understand there's a lot of Kobe tie to this. But I think for me personally, I would say I'm more on the LeBron train of this, and his legacy is why I want the Lakers to win.
And I was a LeBron James fan growing up as a kid. I still am. I had 3 of his jerseys as a kid. But, like, to me, this is for Kobe. And I did the complete 180 on Kobe Bryant. When I was a kid growing up, I didn't like Kobe Bryant at all because all I saw was the guy on the court that one pass. That was all the ultimate scorer, the ultimate shooter. The more I learned, and obviously, unfortunately, when he passed away, the more people spoke about him. And when I saw the behind the scenes of what made Kobe Bryant so great, that's where I found a newfound respect for him. So I want to see them win it for him.
Yeah, and the whole combination of everything given this year, it would be something. It'd be something to see in sports for the Lakers to win it. We'll see if they can get it done. 7-game set against the Miami Heat. That's going to do it tonight. Hey, don't forget to go vote for our Athlete of the Week, ESPN690.com. Of course, we'll reveal the winner of that on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. I do want to apologize to Jax Dan, who's listening to the show, loves the Nationals. No disrespect about the Nationals winning the World Series. I enjoyed it. And sorry that, well, you had a miserable year this year, but it was worth the World Series title. Jax Dan.
I picked you guys to win this year, Jax Dan. You let me down. And I look foolish now.
I don't remember who picked what anymore.
I don't know. Who knows? I picked the Cubs, though, and that much remains to be said.
We'll see you on TV tonight, CBS 47, Fox 30, live, local, loud, coming up right after this, I believe, on ESPN 690. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes.